Day 2, Mortal Kombat 1. Let's continue learning in the practice tutorial. We're on part 4, frame data. The anatomy of an attack. Very important. This is the end that hits the opponent with. Deals damage. We're in the temple with Li Mei and Tanya. Every attack can be broken down into 3 parts, a beginning, middle, and end. Frame data is a measure of the length of time that each part of an attack will last. First, observe the 3 phases in slow motion. The startup frames in blue, the active frames in red, and the recovery in green. Perform an attack to observe the 3 phases. Let's do a jump attack and really confuse them. Let's do stand 4. They got that nice. Is it a guitar or a drum? I guess that's like a ancient Oriental guitar. I like that. It's an object, so it's appropriate. Frame data can be intimidating to some players, but it's easier to understand when you learn what a frame is. It's simply a measurement of time. Remember, there are 60 frames in 1 second. In this universe, what about when Shang Tsung comes through the nether glass? The beginning of an attack is known as its startup, which describes the amount of time in frames before an attack can hit an opponent. This is a good description. Perform 3 attacks that have a fast startup time. The startup portion of each attack is highlighted in blue. Stand 1 takes 7 frames, and down 1 is 7 frames. Alright, nice. Hey, Li Mei moves around really well. Just make a mental note. Make a mental note for, oh my god. Oh my god! Li Mei! Alright, anyway, do a... What did she say? She did it like she was a crane. Falling crane leaps onto your silly head. Okay, and stand 2 takes 9 frames. Take a 9 to 2 a frame. Now perform 3 attacks that have a longer startup time. The startup portion of each attack can be highlighted in blue. 4-3 takes 28. I hope that's back 3 takes 17. Ooh, I'm getting flashbacks to Injustice doing those damn charge attacks. And then back forward 1 takes 19. That's a projectile. Hey, Li Mei, she walks around nice. Startup is one of the most significant attributes of an attack in general. Attacks with fast startup are good for interrupting slow attacks. Complete. The middle of an attack is known as its active frames, which describes the period in time when the attack can hit the opponent. Perform 3 attacks that have short active time. The active portion will be highlighted in red. So these are moves where, like stand 1, only 2 active frames, stand 2, only 2, stand 3, only 3. So that's the portion where the hitbox can actually make contact with the opponent and deal damage and inflict stun. Now perform 3 attacks that have a longer active time. Down 2 is 4 frames of active. You don't really, to be honest with you, you don't really need to pay attention to the active frames. What that matters is, if a move is active for a long time, you might not want to walk into it or travel into it. If you can, maybe with long active frames, you can do it meaty. So as they're waking up, you put this active move over them, and they stand up straight into it, and they have to block. And active frames matter for the total frames, because startup, active, and recovery, whether on hit, block, or on whiff, the total number of frames, including active, contributes to the total animation frames. Total animation is critical for knowing whether or not you can get away with whiffing something without being punished. Like a great example is in Street Fighter 6. Drive Impact is 26 frames. Really knowing what you have permission to do if you want to try and bust open a Drive Impact with like 3 hits of a move to break its armor, or if you have time to recover. Like, what the hell was I testing? I was testing like if I do a stand jab into a drive rush and then they drive impact me, would it be better to cancel the drive rush into a jab and then a drive impact, or just a raw drive impact? And just the raw one is still the shortest number of times to get that armor on before they blow you up. So it's just for the math nerds, but it's critical. It's critical. Down back 3. Down back 3. She's kind of got a lift kick. Hey, she feels really nice. And then she's got that forward advancing knee. Most attacks have short active frames, Attacks with longer active frames are good at controlling space or hitting mobile opponents. The end of an attack is known as its recovery. Recovery is the period in frames after an attack can hit the opponent, but before the character returns to neutral and can move again. So recovery is the period of time after an attack can hit the opponent, but before the character returns to neutral and can move again. That applies to both characters, whether I strike and they block, they're recovering and I'm recovering because the move made contact. Perform 3 attacks that have short recovery time. The recovery portion of each attack will be highlighted in green. Note that recovery frames can be different on hit, miss, or on block. That's very true. So stand 1 takes 18 frames to recover on a miss. And that's why the total frames are important, because this is going to be how much time you're recovering whiffing a move. Man, I like that. I like Li Mei. I also like that she's got that armor. She's got like this, these armored anklets. Now perform 3 attacks that have long recovery. Be careful when you use attacks with long recovery, as they leave you vulnerable on miss. So forward 4. What is that? That's kind of weird. Notice that a lot of characters' sweep attacks are on forward 4 instead of back 4. Did you notice that? They get these like forward 4 sweep attacks too. I like her sweep. Look at that. She's ducking straight under the heads up display. Forward 3. And then down back 3. Which is her big uppercut. I wonder if that firework, I wonder if that dragon has an active hitbox and stays behind her if somebody jumps it and lands on it. That'd be fucked up. You know? Like you're anticipating she's gonna do this flip kick, and so you try and jump, and then it throws at this dragon that, like that spirit from Nio, it travels behind you and you land on it. Frame data is essential to learning the strengths and weaknesses of different attacks when competing at a high level. It's very true. You can press start and select the move list to view frame data for each of your moves. Alright. Quest complete. Give me those coins with a K. I'm going to start gambling these coins too. At the shrine with a K. Hit advantage compares the recovery times of both fighters after an attack hits. For example, if you hit an opponent with an attack that has a hit advantage of 8 frames, you can move 8 frames before the opponent can. Very true. Perform the following attack with high hit advantage and observe how much earlier you recover before the opponent does. The recovery of the faster character is highlighted in blue. So I liked how their eyes flash. Like, not just am I highlighted in blue versus yellow, but my eyes flash. Having advantage after a hit gives you the upper hand for a short time, as you're free to move and attack while the opponent can only wait and block. Very true. So stand 1 has 4 frames of hit advantage. Down 1 has 12 frames of hit advantage? That would mean that it would give you a guaranteed throw attempt. If they, whoa, look at this throw. Well, they could actually duck it. That's actually, they could duck it. I don't know, though. I'm at plus 12. If I hit them, they might have to accept the throw. This might be a guaranteed throw attempt. That's training mode. Back 1 is 11. I like that, too. Hey, I like Li Mei. And then stand 2, 8 frames. I kind of don't know where to start when picking a character, so I think I'm just going to have to play story and start trying out random people. And whoever seems interesting. Because it's like, you gotta just like the way they move around, so Li Mei's fast. And you gotta like their attacks, be like, I'm gonna swing these attacks and hit the enemy with them. And I'm liking her. Attacks that knock down usually have much higher hit advantage than attacks that leave the opponent standing. But then you think about that, back 4 gives me 14 frames, but down 1 gives me 12? That's really insane. And then of course, stand 3 is a launcher, that's pretty cool. And then down 2 is the uppercut. Lesson complete. I want to do that again. Coins. I want to retry that and see lesson complete. Wait a minute. Where's the was this what I was doing? It's not showing up. Oh, it takes a little while. takes the time. Stand 3. Let's see. Some of these menus are a little bit oh, it reset. Lesson complete. Alright, continue. Block advantage is much like hit advantage, comparing the recovery times of both fighters after an attack is blocked. Most attacks have less advantage on block than on hit. That's true. Perform the following attacks with block advantage and observe how much earlier you recover than the opponent. The recovery of faster characters is highlighted in blue. But typically on block, you're going to be the one at a disadvantage. It's pretty rare that so many block attacks are going to give you faster recovery than the opponent who's stuck blocking. So she's got a back 3-2 that maybe ends in a low. Damn, and stand 4. What about fuck. So every time I reset, it resets the moves. Task complete. If you have a block advantage of 0, both characters recover at the same time. It's known as neutral on block. Very true. Stand 3 is neutral. If your attack has negative block advantage, the opponent will recover before you do. The attack would have frame disadvantage on block, giving your opponent the upper hand. That's true. If it has negative block advantage, the opponent will recover before you do. So remember that. Back 2 is -6. Oh no. Back 2 is -6. Attacks with block advantage values far below 0 will give the opponent more time to act first when blocked, putting you in a much more dangerous situation. Forward 4 is -11. Really? Oh no, that's no good. But then back one for is apparently plus. That's weird. Oh no, back forward 4 is super blockable. -19, super punishable. So I wonder what. I mean, most characters I think have a 7 frame move, so that's your basic starting punish. Damn, that's unsafe as well. A lot of our specials seem unsafe. The remaining lessons will use frame advantage to examine the strengths and risks of different attacks. You can refer back to the lessons if you need a refresher. Continue. Unsafe tasks. Unsafe attacks. An attack's frame data will tell you if it's safe or risky to use in certain situations. If the opponent blocks one of your attacks and they're able to hit you before you recover, then the attack is considered unsafe on block. So he punished me after did forward 4 because he has a move that starts faster than the length of time I need to recover. So let's say he has a 7 frame crouch jab and my forward 4 sweep were -9. That gives him this 2 frame window to stick something out and punish me. A skilled opponent will be able to consistently punish you with a counter if they block an attack that is unsafe on block. You can tell if an attack is unsafe on block if it has high block disadvantage. Any of the opponent's attacks with fast enough starter time will be able to hit your blocked attack before it recovers. Very true. Damn, forward 4-3. So that's like one of her combo starters. They're building a lot of combo starters and launchers into the strings, which I really like. What else was I going to say about Johnny? I don't know. Unsafe attacks are generally best used in combos or for interrupting an opponent that's committed to an attack. Oh, the other thing is because this game has like a 3D style of input, it should be pretty easy to like block like a normal string or a special, and then release block and dial in your combo punish, because the game has this like 3D animation and there's like a big buffer window. The length of time where you're recovering from moves is probably a lot longer than a 2D game like Street Fighter, it's like test some of those 4-frame or 5-frame punishes, trying to get like a crouch jab or a crouch short off with perfect time. You have to be absolutely sharp where while you're still holding block and while you're still the opponent's hitting you and you're still in the animation, you need to be inputting like a down jab to cue the input and log the punish. But in this game, because it's 3D, it'll be a lot easier to just like hold block, even for 7 frames. You know, it's like the equivalent of trying to punish a crouch medium kick or something instead of a crouch jab in Street Fighter. Observe the special attacks. Check the frame data on your character's move list to learn which attacks are unsafe on block. Avoid recklessly using these attacks when the opponent is likely to block. Every character can use down 1 to perform a quick, close-range mid-attack that's effective at ducking under high attacks or interrupting slow attacks. This attack does not deal much damage, but it grants high hit frame advantage if it hits. So, your mid is going to hit standing or crouching opponents, and crouch jab, especially in a 3D game, is useful for like slipping underneath something like a stand jab, a high, and then interrupting just to check them one time and to get frame advantage, like they're saying, and to move around and to take the tide of battle back onto your side. Turn the tide of battle to your advantage. If they're typically going to start swinging out like high pressure strings, like stand punch strings. It's not really so much to try and interrupt a move that's already been started. It might be more useful. It'll be useful to figure out whether you should try and interrupt something on startup or whether you should block something if it has a great disadvantage on block. A down 1 has enough block disadvantage to be unsafe. It does, but the risk is low since it cannot be hit by a fast high attack like square to start a combo. In most cases, a block down 1 could only be punished by another down 1 for minimal damage. Yeah, so let's say that down 1 is -7, but your opponent's only 7-frame move is their stand jab. They wouldn't be able to hit you and punish you because you'd be in a crouch state. So yeah, they would likely just be able to just like try and pressure you on block at best. Observe Liu Mei's duck. Lesson complete. Currency coins. I wish I had a deeper list of the tutorials so I could go over certain stuff. If you say skip task or restart section or tutorial hub, it's good. They're kind of, the menus on the tutorials are a little bit screwed up. Safe attacks. An opponent is considered safe on block when an attack is considered safe on block when it has been blocked by the opponent, but none of their attacks are fast enough to hit you before you finish your attack and recover. So like, even though it's disadvantaged, like if I have something that's -5 and Johnny's best move is a -6, he wouldn't be able to land that hit on me. I would still be able to block in time. We taking some voice acting lessons from Raiden over here. An attack that has block advantage of 0 or more will always be safe on block. So what stand for is fast and it's safe. Some attacks with block disadvantage are still safe on block. Yeah, like I said, if it's negative but not slow enough to be punished. The opponent will recover before you do, but you'll have enough time to block any counterattack that has a slower startup than your attack's block disadvantage. Yeah, it's like I explained. For example, Liu Mei's back 2 has a block advantage. It should be block disadvantage of 6. But Johnny doesn't have any attacks would start up faster than 7 frames. So Liu Mei will have enough time to block any of Johnny's follow-ups. It's very true. Task complete. I don't like that Johnny Cage and Kenshi are wearing like modern clothes. Like they're on the set for the Matrix 4 getting ready to do the office scene, and then Raiden steps through the time warp and pulls them back, and it's like him and Kung Lao are dressed like subsistence farmers from 1400 BC, and then you have Li Mei and Raika that are like these heavy metal medieval armored characters. So like, and then Jax and Sonya in their brick bodies, jazz aerobics, workout gear. They're like everybody's mishmashed together. I'm chronologically confused about Mortal Kombat 1. It's better to use attacks that are safe on block if your opponent has a good chance of blocking. Okay. As opposed to if your opponent has a good chance of hitting. Be aware that an attack that's safe on block can still be risky if you miss entirely, especially if it has long recovery. But what they're saying is if you know that they're in a neutral state, or they're not in a hit stun or something, or it's not any type of mix-up like a low or an overhead. If it's just a standard attack, you don't want to use some forward advancing mid that's like minus 16, you'll get launch punished. So you should use something that's maybe like, yeah, +2 to -2 or something. Something that's not punishable if you're just going to kind of block. Because it's like, you can use a low or an overhead or something that has a specific hit property to open them up or score a hit or start a combo. But if you're just going to be trying to pressure them, like, what are you trying to do when you're swinging an attack and you want to make contact but you don't want to start a combo? You're either trying to get close, you're trying to put them at a frame disadvantage to set up something trickier where, okay, now they're at -3, they don't have access to they don't have access to moves that are like 10 frames, 12 frames, because they're stuck with these 7-frame moves, 8, 9-frame moves. And so putting them at frame disadvantage gives me the opportunity to do something bigger. If I could put Johnny at -4, and then I could get off, like, you know, let's say 14-frame overhead. Like, having him in heavy block stun first essentially makes my slower moves start faster. And so what's the best he can do if I can reduce the startup from an overhead to 7 frames? Or maybe he'll trade with me with a jab, but that's about it. So when you're trying to poke at people on block, and you're not trying to open them up, or you're not trying to mix them up or anything, when you're just kind of poking at them, you want to hold them in place and reduce their options. Make them block, make them take chip damage, build meter, put them at a block disadvantage, a frame disadvantage, where they have to give up some of their longer moves and wait for you, and maybe even interrupt an attempt at an attack of their own. So it's better to use moves that are safe on block if the opponent has a chance of blocking. So forward 4 is safe. And so then forward, wait a minute. So she has forward 4. Forward 4-3 is her launcher that's unsafe, but double forward 4 is safe. Wow, no kidding. Double forward 4-4 is safe. Some attacks have different block advantage depending on the distance at which the opponent blocks the attack. That's also true. These types of attacks are safe on block at one distance but unsafe on another. Projectiles are a great example of this. If I throw a projectile from full screen, I've recovered from my animation before the traveling hitbox of the projectile has even reached you. Another thing is a slide. Like, if I connect with the beginning of the slide, the reason why the advantage differs is because my character needs to play through the entire length of the animation. And so if I hit you, if I make contact with this move at the beginning and I have some type of traveling hitbox, I have to go through the entire length of the animation. And as soon as I make contact with you, you start recovering as well. So if I space a slide from very far away, start it, and I make contact with you at the very end of the animation, the very end of the distance of the range of the hitbox, as soon as I make contact with you, you're starting to recover on block, let's say. But because I'm at the end of my animation, I'm also starting to recover. So you can make slides safe by timing them from a distance. You can make projectiles safe by timing them from a distance. And you can also make melee attacks safe by timing them over a knockdown body. As soon as you wake up into them, the attack animation's playing, it's ongoing, I'm recovering from the full animation, and you only start recovering once the move makes contact with you later in the animation. So the blast is... Typically projectiles are unsafe at very close range. Then of course from far away, Johnny won't be able to fight me. Check the frame data on your character's move list to learn which attacks are safe on block. In most cases, attacks with block advantage of -7 or greater will give you enough time to block the opponent's fastest counterattack. Yeah, because it's confusing the way they say, because block advantage of -7 or greater, because technically greater than a negative number would be, -6 is technically greater than -7, if you know how to read negatives and speak arithmetic. Connecting. Currency, still on the frame data chapter. Jesus. Punishing. A punish describes a counterattack that can hit an unsafe attack as it recovers. A proper punish cannot be blocked by a recovering character. Generally, attacks with longer recovery on block can be punished by attacks with faster startup. That's a perfect explanation. Hold down and then hit down 1. Task complete. If the startup frames of your attack are less than the block disadvantage, negative block advantage. Oh boy. If the startup frames of your attack are less than the block disadvantage. So if they're at -7 and I have an attack that's 6 frames of the opponent's attack, then you can always punish if the opponent's in range and you time your attack correctly. You can tell if your counterattack has successfully punished the unsafe move if punish message appears on screen when you hit the opponent as they're recovering. Punish. An attack with fast startup will be able to punish attacks with lower block disadvantage. Every character can use stand 1 to start a combo with a fast attack at close range. I gotta block the full thing. Alright, pretty good. The easiest thing to do is just read your character's move list and look at the startup frames and just assume everything's that fast. And then check any move that, like if you're fighting a character and you're struggling against a particular move, like Lee May for instance, and she's doing that, she's doing these like double flip kicks on you or something. Just look them up in training mode and see see what the recovery on block is, and it's like, yeah, if Johnny has a stand 1 combo punish that's 7 frames, just do that. If you block attack with high block disadvantage, you will have more time to punish the opponent. That's true. You can get a bigger combo like a super launch or something. I just coined that phrase, super launch. Verbal trademark. If you use a fast attack like stand 1 to punish, you will have more room for error to correctly time your attack. That's true. Because if they're at -12 and I got a 7 frame move, that gives me a bit of leeway. But like I said, if they're at -7 and I have a 7 frame move, you better be sure your punishes are on point. Your fastest attacks are not always the optimal choice when punishing your opponent. As you grow more comfortable with your character, you can punish with slower attacks that lead to more damage. Exactly true. See, I was too late there. That's cool. He's got a string that leaves them standing, but you can still combo off it while they're standing. That's kind of cool. That 4-3-4. It can be difficult to time a punish with basic attacks if startup is barely fast enough to hit an unsafe attack. Exactly. A reversal attack can make punishing easier in some situations. A reversal special move always starts in the very first frame you recover from block. But see, I think personally, that type of like reversal punish, that was the same thing with the Upblock thing, using down 2 or 2 as the Upblock punish. I personally think that's no good because you have to time the input. It's almost like you're canceling from block into a special. And I don't think that a special is really going to be your best option to punish. I think learning how to punish with the appropriate normal is easier because it's like you can buffer a normal attack to come out after block stun. You don't really need to time it to be some perfect just frame. And it's going to come out at the earliest possible frame because this is a 3D game. You can just buffer the input. So I don't know if you really want to worry about special move reversal punishes. I think that's a little misdirected. While the reversal can make it easier to time a punish, it may not be your most damaging option. As you grow more comfortable, use move lists to compare startup frames of your attacks to the block disadvantage of your opponents. Perfectly said. A punish is one of the best opportunities to deal significant damage, to make the most of it. That's perfectly true. In some cases, it's better to punish an opponent's missed attack instead of blocking first. You'll avoid taking block damage, and you can start your own attack more quickly. Attacks with high block advantage can only be punished if they miss. Good, like stupid Kim's standing roundhouse. +2, come on. You can reliably evade and punish a high attack by ducking without blocking. Then hit the opponent as they recover. This is also effective against throws that will miss if you are ducking without blocking. Task complete. And see, it still gave me a punish icon there. You can spend 2 bars of your super meter to cancel down 2 into a jump. What? If you hit the opponent during one of their attacks, you can juggle the opponent with an aerial attack or combo after a jump cancel. It costs 2 bars to jump cancel an uppercut. I'd rather just take the uppercut and then just try for a combo. You might be better off calling a neutral assist. You know, down 2 Kameo assist, and then comboing off them instead of wasting 2 bars. You will see counter message. If you hit the opponent during the startup attack or punish, if you hit them, okay. You will see counter if you hit them during startup, or punish if you hit them during their attack's recovery. Pretty nice. Down 2, what? They mean crouch and then hit down 2. I don't think they mean double down 2. What? Oh, you have to hit up forward plus block? What the fuck? That is... I'm never doing that. That's so weird. You can't just hit down 2 up forward. You have to hit down 2 and then up plus block? Weird. Well, you've never seen that in tournament. That was a successful frame advantage tutorial for Mortal Kombat 1. Let's see what else we can learn. Now I'm going to jump into the combos section of the Mortal Kombat 1 tutorial. So let's learn. Category completion reward with all the Ks. I wish that they would put Ks in the center of words like mechanics, double K, scenarios with the K. Hey look, even corner combos doesn't have a K. At Boone, you're slipping. Let's begin. Combos. Love these load times. Corner combos. A corner combo describes a combo that can only be performed when the victim's back is touching the corner of the arena. I want to do up forward 4-3. Or when you don't knock them out of it. Come on, Johnny. I don't know that I want to play as Johnny. Perform a corner combo. I did. That's the demo. That's the demo. Because the opponent can't be punished back by hit. Wait. Because the opponent can't be punished back by hits when they're in the corner. Can't be punished back. What does that mean? It's possible to combo with moves that otherwise would miss. This is especially true for juggle combos. Can't be pushed back. Boy, did I read that wrong. They can't be pushed back by hits when they're in the corner. Okay. 4-4. Alright, big combo punish. Most characters have longer jungle combos that are only possible in the corner. Take advantage of the corner to maximize your combo damage whenever possible. Yeah, let's do some combos. Let's practice. So, forward, 1-2-4. And then you gotta let them fall a lot. Alright, it seems like in this game, because the inputs are tighter, you kind of have to let them, you kind of have permission to wait a little while before you start your attacks. And that means that you can kind of let them fall a little bit. Let's see. I was never really a fan of Johnny because of that that element about him. He kind of has to juggle a lot of like stand 1, stand 2 in the combo. I don't really like timing just like a neutral hit in a game like MK, trying to juggle multiple stand 1s, or I don't like combos where you have to let them fall. I kind of just like dialing it in. Experiment in practice mode to find unique and powerful corner combos with each character. Lesson complete. Pretty good. Yeah, there seems to be a lot where you need to let them like fall and try and catch them. Wow, combo limitations. There are several systems that constrain the length of a combo in Mortal Kombat. Some limit the amount of damage you deal during a combo, while others limit the moves that will keep a combo going. Some attacks will give you enough frame advantage on hit to strike your opponent with another attack before they recover. If the opponent is still standing, they will be able to block your next attack in most cases. Some give enough frame advantage on hit to strike your opponent with another attack before they recover. What? If the opponent is still standing, they'll be able to block? What does that mean if they're still standing? Oh, so in the sense of like if they had been juggled and the hit advantage is like, I don't know, +6, obviously you still could start another attack, but if they were just standing regularly, then and they were never put into a juggle state, it doesn't act as a true combo and they can still block. I getcha. So what's 1-2? 1-2, 2-1, and he's still obviously able to block. There are exceptions, but usually you'll need a special move cancel, launch for a juggle, or a Kameo attack at the right time to continue comboing against a grounded opponent. I think I do like Scorpion. Scorpion Spear is one of the few moves that will stun on hit, allowing you to combo on a grounded opponent. Scorpion Spear, see, even they call it a spear. It's not a harpoon, it's a spear. Scorpion Spear can only stun the opponent once per combo. If you use it twice, the opponent will be knocked down after the second spear hit. So 1-2 spear. Damn, 1-2 spear is a real combo. And then it knocks them down. Can you wake them up with like a down 3 or something? Sometimes when opponents get knocked to the ground, I guess that was in a game where you had delay wake up and they could hug the ground and hold block. Yeah, so in this game I don't really know that you're going to be able to pick them up off the ground because you can't hang on the ground anymore. There's an automatic delayed Getup that just elongates their recovery, and then they wake up stand blocking. Interesting. I like this game a lot. I think their system, the graphics, the animations, and the rules of everything that they did are really interesting, and I think they pulled off the cameos nicely. Most moves that stun the opponent can only be used once per combo. If Sub-Zero attempts to freeze the opponent a second time in the combo, they will be knocked down instead. What does that mean? Most moves that stun the opponent can only be used once per combo. If Sub-Zero attempts to freeze the opponent a second time, they'll be knocked down. I gotcha. And then he freezes. Well, how am I going to use Sub-Zero twice in the same combo? I gotta wait for him to leave the combo. I gotta wait for him to leave the screen, get out of here. And I missed. Now wait a minute here. First of all, I want to say that I like that Kameo. I think I like this one. Body slam freeze. Look, he's frozen, and I gotta wait for him to get out of here. And then how do I call him a second time? He won't freeze. It's not a true combo. I have to wait, and then... like, he's not coming out. Uh-oh, Netherrealm. He's not even coming out a second time. So you need to wait for the cameos to leave. Let's see if I can call him in a different way. 1-2 freeze, and then I call him again, doing neutral. All right, I should call him before I even get I should call him before I even start the 3-string. You see what I'm saying? He can't be frozen twice. I don't know if it's even gonna let me do the same move. Look, I can call him in a different move. I think I read somewhere that this is bugged. What is his back freeze? It's just the body slam. What about down? It's armor. Let's see if I can get him to do the body slam. No. I have to wait for him to leave. It's not even allowing me to do the same move twice. It's not even allowing me. Why don't I do... Let's navigate. Can I combo that into spear? Can I combo that into spear? So let's see. I'll try and do a different combo to see if I can just get it out. I can't even get this to come out. Let's see if I can freeze him again. Does it count? It can't count. It probably was a reset. Let's look at the demo. They can pull it off. Alright. It's probably just a weird timing. And then they wait for him. Let's look at the demo again. When do they time this? So his head's frozen. How come this isn't working? Might have to skip this task. I'm look mashing it again. Look at this. It won't let it come out a second time. Look at that. It's like you can't even get it to come out in the same combo. I gotta skip this. Am I doing it wrong? Their demo can do it. And they're trying to teach you a combo that won't work anyway. They're trying to teach you to, like, this is how a combo does not work. Well, prove that a combo does not work. I don't need you to prove that a combo doesn't work. Give me something that works here. Sex in a tub. I mean, give me something I can use. I think it's because, you know why? Do you know why? I think it's because you cannot special cancel 333 at the end of the string. You have to dial it in. Like if I want to do, like I can't do 333 and then spear. I can't dial in 333 and then put the spear at the end. I got to do it early. So I think I'm not special canceling from 333 into the Kameo. I think that's why. I have to wait for him to leave. That's why he hasn't left the screen yet. So here's what's going on. Sub-Zero being on the screen makes it like the Kameo hasn't recovered, but by the time he recovers I have to have already started the 333 string, and the window to special cancel 333 is very early. So that's what's going on. I have to cancel 333 so early, but the Kameo is still on the screen and hasn't recovered and left, and I gotta start the string when the Kameo is still recovering, and it's not allowing me to cancel into the Kameo special out of the string. That's bogus. It's a bad example, NetherRealm. I might skip it. Because how late into the string can I... He's on the screen. I have to wait for him to leave. How late can I delay this? How late can I delay hitting him? Okay, so he freezes a long time. Maybe I'll wait until he totally goes away. Nah, it doesn't count as a combo even. I'll wait till he totally leaves. There we go. So did you see? Did you see that? The reason why that combo was failing was because of two things. The initial Kameo having to recover on hit and disappear in order to allow me to call a Kameo again. But because the timing for the combo is so tight, I have to start the 3-3-3 string very, very soon. And I have to special cancel that string by like the second hit. I can't wait until the third hit of the kick. If I want to special cancel 3-3-3, I got to input the special over the second attack in the string. So you have to start the special cancel of 3-3-3 early, but it requires a Kameo, and if the Sub-Zero Kameo is still on the screen and hasn't recovered and left, when you need to input this special cancel buffer, this Kameo cancel buffer, during a string, that input window of the Kameo recovery and the string special cancel are overlapping, and they weren't letting me do it. You gotta wait for him to totally leave, and then just allow Shao Kahn to chill out for a little bit. Let's move on. Combo limitations. Sub-Zero and Scorpion can use both Spear and Freezing attack to stun the opponents twice in the same combo. So Spear, and then forward 4 Freeze. So using this Sub-Zero Freeze seems difficult. Oh, because it wasn't a cancel. It didn't seem like it was a cancel. It seemed like it was a... What do you mean? Is it... Am I not hitting it right? Alright. So I don't think I can cancel forward 4 into Sub-Zero's freeze, so I gotta link it. There we go. Task complete. So you gotta figure out what attacks are not special cancelable, because you're not gonna be able to do some of your horizontal Kameo attacks straight from them. You're gonna have to basically do a horizontal Kameo attack raw, which requires that you commit to calling it out. After the first hit in the combo, each additional hit will deal slightly less damage. The damage penalty grows as you add more hits. This is known as damage scaling. So the amount of hits should scale the damage. Perform a combo by repeating the same attack and observe the damage decrease over time. I didn't observe it, but I hope you did. Damage scaling means longer combos have diminished returns as you have more hits. Master shorter, easy to execute combos before moving on to long combos that are more challenging. Alright. After the opponent has been launched for juggle combo, the opponent will fall slightly faster after each airborne hit. This is known as gravity scaling. Perform a juggle combo by repeating the same attack and observe that the opponent is launched lower in the air with each hit. I gotta say, I really like this stage, and I really like this music. I think the stages are very bright and have a lot of color to them. I think that's easier on the eyes to look at than like a dark stage. I like that the moves come out. Like, when you press the... I'm finding that I'm pressing the buttons, like, early. Like, I have plenty of time to wait. The moves will come out, it's no problem. And I can even allow them plenty of time to fall and drop, and I can still hit it. Seems nice. Gravity scaling will cause the opponent to eventually fall out of any juggle combo. Some special moves can be enhanced to extend a combo. The amount of super meter available will constrain how often you use these moves to extend combos, because you only have so much meter at once. And then what do I have? Oh. What am I trying to do? Enhance the... while airborne. Let's put him in the corner. Oh, I gotta be airborne. I gotta be airborne. I was gonna say, I was like, how am I gonna fucking combo off that? Spending super meter repeatedly in the same combo will have diminished returns due to gravity scaling and damage scaling. Didn't I just do that? Your Kameo partner can only perform one move at a time, which limits how quickly you can use their attacks in a combo. And also your meter. And I was even thinking it might be more useful to use Kameos later in a combo in the event that you don't have a Kameo active right now when you start, and it's like you might want to build cameos late into the combo to make sure, like, if you're short the bar, like if you're just barely short 1 bar of cameo, if you start a combo, by the time you need to call them, maybe their bar is recovered. Your cameo partner can only perform 1 move at a time, which limits how quickly you can use their attacks in a combo. See, this is like the same issue. You better be sure that he's recovered and left before you try and get him to do something different in the combo. Very cool. Lesson complete. Your available combo meter will also limit how many cameo attacks you can perform in a single combo. That's true. Yeah, I don't know if double cameo combos are going to be useful, unless it's to kill the opponent. Use this resource carefully. Your lead character will be at a disadvantage when fighting on their own. Connect to the service. Give me those coins. Your highest damage combo may not always be the best choice. Use a variety of attacks with different properties to build the right combos for each situation. You could want a corner combo. I mean, you could want to carry them to the corner. You could want to build meter rather than spend meter. You could want to knock them down and set them up. Your fastest attacks may not be the most damaging combo starters, but they can be great for interrupting slow attacks or punishing the opponent's mistakes. Every character can use stand 1 to start a combo with a high attack that has very fast startup frames. Task complete. Special cancels are always a great way to add more damage to a combo attack string. That so this is kind of like a lightning cage from Black Adam. Raiden's got that lightning cage. Ratings 3 is not as fast as his stand 1, but it can start a damaging juggle combo. Slower high attacks can be evaded by ducking, so they're safer to use when punishing the opponent. So if you have a combo starter that's high and it's a little bit slow, like -12, -14, you don't want someone to stick, a Street Fighter jab out at you, or grab you, or just duck it. So, like, a slow combo starter is useful only as a punish, not necessarily a poke. What does that do? Raiden seems cool. Raiden's forward 2 is a slower attack, but its excellent range lets him start combos from much farther away. And it's a mid, so it'll make contact against high or low, standing or crouching opponents. Forward 2 is a mid attack. That's what I just said. That can hit opponents trying to duck under Raiden's fast high attacks, like stand 1 or stand 3. Oh, and I could do what? It's lightning grab. Those special effects look pretty cool. Raiden has a unique feel to him. He's got this, like, very limber, like, stretchy, grabby feel to him. What is that, Tai Chi? Or is it Quan Chi? Your opponent will have a harder time blocking if you use a mix of low or overhead attacks or combos that start with both types to increase your chance for successful hits. Very true. Triple sweep. Triple sweep. What is it? Lightning cage. Raiden doesn't have any ground moves that can start a combo with an overhead attack, but his cameo partner does. Oh, damn. Overhead. Into lightning cage. So, I was really worried when I saw this game at first that there was going to be crazy unblockables with cameos and with point characters, but I think because most of the cameo attacks require a commitment on the point character, you're not going to be able to, like, start something and then, like, I can't call an overhead and start doing a low because I've committed to that cameo call, and my point character can't move themselves. Cancel into special moves and cameo attacks to force your opponent to block low or high at unexpected points in combo strings. What is it? Oh, it's I did 2-1-2. All right. And then so that'll go while he's blocking. That's not really a combo though, because he's not. That's not really like. This is just a block string, And then, yeah, it's a block string, and he gets opened up. He's crouch blocking this string, and then he gets opened up by the overhead. Rating can cancel into Enhanced Electromagnetic Storm to add a low attack to his combo strings? Really? So, how do these enhanced versions work? I'm gonna want to do... Oh, cool. Maybe you do just want to press block and the special at the same time, instead of trying to do the directions, then pressing and holding block, and then pressing the normal. I don't know that that's going to be the best option. Again, that worked in MK9 because MK9 allowed you to buffer inputs while blocking. That's also how dash cancel even came about, to string together dash sequences. Avoid attacking in predictable patterns to make it more difficult for your opponent to defend. If your opponent gets comfortable blocking a certain low attack in your combo string, you can surprise them by canceling into an overhead attack. So what is this? I like also that Kameo is on a forward move, so you can just go forward, forward 2, forward Kameo, no big deal. Damn, attack. So that's the other thing too. You're not just gonna have to learn the matchup against the point character. You got to watch for what Kameo they have, and be like I wouldn't know. Oh shit, Scorpion's got that up fireball to combo, no big deal. But he's also got an overhead strike. I got to look for that. Attacking with combos. And then figuring out, how do you punish Kameos? Can you interrupt them? Can you knock them off the screen? Do you have to block and punish them? I don't know. There's a lot of testing to do. Attacking with combos that contain both low and overhead attacks will force the opponent to change their block from ducking to standing mid-combo. Huh. So he's got a double low, calls the overhead assist, and then I got to sweep him without walking away. Sweep. Task complete. When your opponent is able to block, be mindful of block advantage of the last attack in your combo. Raiden's forward 224 has block advantage of -7, so it recovers too quickly to be punished by the opponent in most situations. I don't know, 7 frames? I think that's punishable. Raiden's stand 2 has fast startup and can lead to damaging combos, but the last attack in the string is -16, so it can be punished. Damn. Combo strings that end in unsafe attacks are riskier when you're attacking a blocking opponent, but may be useful for creating a mix-up or starting a punish. Now, combo strings that end in unsafe attacks are risky when attacking a blocking opponent, but they may be useful for creating a mix-up or starting a punish combo. Use your character's move list to examine the strengths and weaknesses of each potential combo starter in different situations. Currency coins. I can't wait to gamble them at the shrine. The attack... Like, look at these guys. Don't they seem so out of place? I mean, he's Neo in the Matrix. Let's just say it. What are they doing back here? And then look at these palaces. It's like Super Fantasy Elden Ring, you know, timeline. Luerni over here. The attack you use to end a combo will shape the next interaction with your opponent. Positioning and frame advantage can be more important than maximizing combo damage. Try to perform combos that push the opponent closer to the corner. This will limit their movement options and create opportunities to perform damaging corner combos. And then, so I can't special cancel that. I just got to do that raw. All right, it's so I don't know any of these strings or any of these characters, but some of the strings are not special cancelable, so you got to do stuff raw after it. Kameo attacks like Sonya's Square Wave Punch can help you add damage to a combo while pushing the opponent further into the corner. All right, how we can time it? So I got to bounce it. Cool. Take advantage of side switching attacks in a combo to place your opponent in a corner that's behind you. Cage can special cancel a combo attack into his Shadow Dash to switch sides with the opponent. This special move deals no damage, but he can use it to Escape a dangerous corner situation. That's really weird. Oh, that's like his weird movement option. And it's a cancel, but I don't know how invincible it is, if it goes around projectiles or through attacks or not. I don't think that it is. I think it can be stuffed. They said that in the combat cast. See, I don't know you need to obsess over dash canceling so much. It's more like, it's not the way it was in MK9 where you're like super buffering everything. This is just like you have the option to cancel a dash into a block, into a jump, into a duck, into a crouch low, into a move. Yeah, I don't know that you need to really obsess over dash blocking a lot. It's just the idea that a dash can be canceled into anything you want, which is smart. Sonya can help her partner side switch with the opponents using her leg grab Kameo summon. Cool. And the uppercut. The inputs are going to switch if you try and do that combo then. You can put yourself in an advantageous position by ending a combo with an attack that knocks the opponent down for a long time. You'll be able to move and prepare your next attack while the opponent is getting up. Anders. Some attacks that normally knock down your opponent can lead to a long knockdown that keeps you close to your opponent in the corner, placing you in a perfect position to attack as they get up. That whiffs. Why is that whiffing? So you gotta do it so low. That's why I don't like Johnny. He's always had this shit where you gotta let them fall in the corner. I don't like that. I want to dial it in as fast as possible and never drop it. End the combo with an attack that keeps your opponent close if you want to play aggressively and pressure them as they get up. What do I do? Special cancel. If you want to keep them close. End the combo sooner. End the combo with an attack that creates space between you and your opponent if you want to keep them at a distance, and follow up with projectiles. What is oh? When can I special this? See, so figuring out when you can, figuring out whether or not this string is like figuring out whether or not this string is even special cancelable, and then figuring out whether you have to call the assist after the string's over, or if you have to buffer an assist cancel during the string. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I think you just call it afterward. Yeah, there you go. That's not a real combo though, but it's just pressure. Attacks that leave your opponent standing often give you frame advantage on hit. This combo ender may not deal as much damage, but you'll have the upper hand continuing your offense. I did the wrong thing. So what is the best way to do enhanced attacks? Do I want to hit down back block then one, or down back block plus one? Maybe you can roll down back press and hold block plus one. I don't know. So do you want me to combo into this or what? So I'm not getting the special cancel. I'm getting forward 3-2-1 instead of forward 3-2 down back 1. Isn't that it? Am I wrong? Back down 1. What the fuck? Back down 1. Damn it. Dyslexic over here. Some attacks will force the opponent to stand if they're hit during a juggle combo. An opponent that's standing as they recover can't use get-up attacks or reversal attacks to defend themselves. giving you an opportunity to stay on the offensive. A Getup attack. Do they still have access to wake up specials? There's just no invulnerability. It just does it at the fastest time. Alright. And then do Nut Punch. I love how they boo. Kind of get a little creativity as how you want to use it. So I slipped a little. I waited later and slipped a little dash in there. No big deal. I'm liking this game so far. It seems very creative and interesting, and it's fluid and very lenient. And I can't wait to find a character that I like. I want to bang these tutorials out. I really want to play. I want to do story and invasions, and I want to look at characters in training mode to find my my main squeeze. But I really got to do these tutorials. I think it's important, and I am learning about the system. Just like in SF6, I really learned how drive rush combos work doing those tutorials, the combo trials, and so I'm definitely learning about like the meter and the rule properties and how it feels to execute some of the stuff like the Kameo combos. I'm really learning from these tutorials, so let's keep going. Hit confirming is a method to safely use an attack in a combo that is otherwise unsafe on block. First, start a combo with a combo attack string that's safe on block. Damn, -5. Alright. Once you've seen the opponent has been hit by the first attack of the combo, you'll have enough time to react to your hit and add an unsafe attack to extend your combos without risk. Once you confirm that the opponent has been hit. Alright, very good. And then figure out what strings are special cancelable, and then figure out when you need to input a special cancel or a Kameo cancel during that time. Like I said, usually I dial in the strings, but then you still have to figure out, can I wait till the very end to dial in to special cancel? No, not really. Like, you don't want to like, I'll press 333 before the second kick in the string has even come out. And you don't want to wait until the third kick in the string is visually animated on a screen, kicking them, hitting them, to try and input now your special cancel. You kind of have to dial in the special cancel as early as you dial in the full hits in the string. If the opponent blocks the first attack in your Kameo, you'll have enough time to react and end the combo early without adding the unsafe attack, allowing you to block the counter from the opponent. So you use 2 and 3 hit strings to try and hit confirm, and then you use safe strings so you can just poke and pressure with them, and then if the opponent gets hit, then you can cancel into your special, like a launch or something. Now observe the opponent's behavior and only finish the combo if he is hit by the first attack. Well, why would I... So, and this is the other thing, too. This particular string seems to be a tough one to special cancel anyway. So, like... Like, when am I able to... I really need to special cancel this move. Like, by the time the second kick hits. So yeah, I put in back forward 2, basically when the second kick was hitting him, before the third kick even started. So if anything, you want to wait. You want to use like the middle of the string to input a special cancel. You definitely don't want to wait to the end. I don't know if you can just dial it all in at once, like 3-3, back forward 2, and just dial it all in and say just do it. But you definitely want to time it towards like the middle of a string. It's more difficult to hit confirm from a 2-hit combo attack than 3-hit combo attack, but it gives you more options to deal with safety and consistency. It might almost be better to practice special canceling out of strings with a 2-hit string. What if you can enhance that? And so what I'm doing is I'm hitting 1-2, And I'm pre-dialing back forward because I know that's what I'm looking for. And so I'm hitting 1-2 back forward, hit confirming it, and then just tagging the 2 at the end. I do the same thing with fireballs, where why didn't it give me that? I do the same thing with fireballs where I'll do down forward and then punch to time when I want to throw it, rather than trying to do like down forward plus punch or whatever. You can also hit confirm into Kameo attacks. Really? What's my, oh, she's got the leg grab. Nice. That's easy, too. That's like an easy... So then, see, look at this now. All of a sudden, we're doing 3-3, just a 2-hit string. And I'm waiting late. I'm waiting late to hit that Kameo. And special canceling into Kameos will be easy because it's just one button, essentially. Even if you have to hold back or forward, it's just one button. Like, so it's way easier to figure out when to put one button press in than to put 3, like a down, then a forward plus a punch. And you see Scorpion's standing 3-3. That's way easier to special cancel than his 3-3-3. So yeah, practice 2-hit strings into special cancels and Kameo cancels if you're struggling. Hit confirming is crucial when competing with a highly skilled opponent. That's true. You can't just throw shit out randomly and expect it to hit and expect it to work because some YouTuber told you this is a good move to do. Well, what do they know? What tournaments have they won? You listen to them. So I lost my train of thought. Hit confirming is crucial when competing with a highly skilled opponent. This technique gives you the benefits of using unsafe attacks and combos without the risk of punishing a blocked attack. Without the risk of the opponent's punishing a blocked attack. Yeah, so like you have to have a purpose for stuff. You can take a bet and try and do something risky, but you don't want to just throw stuff out absent-mindedly or randomly because you're going to get confused why it's getting blocked and punished for free. Use practice mode to improve your hit confirming skills by setting the custom dummy to random combo block mode. Check your character's move list to find combo attacks that are safe on block and allow you to special cancel. Is that it? Usually have this big ending for those. 1,000! Damn, combo's done. Alright, let's see if we want to move on. Tutorial Hub. Tutorial Hub. Pressure. That sounds interesting. What do I want to do? I really would love to just finish this tutorial today and then finally get into story, training mode, and invasion. So let's finish it now. Okay, pressure tutorial. Getup describes scenarios in which one player is recovering from a knockdown while the other is standing and free to attack. Knocking down the opponent gives you control over the pace of the match. It's important to know which of your attacks knock the opponent down the longest, giving you more time to move in and attack before you can get up again. A lot of these tutorials, not only are they giving you general knowledge for like the flow of a fight in MK1 and fighting games, they're also telling you how specifically to look at your favorite character, your main character. Go into their move list and look at their strengths, look at their startup, look at their block advantage or disadvantage at the end of their moves. And it's really teaching you how to like study your character. So just perform a sweep, no big deal, task complete. I think that I like this stage because the song is like some trumpeter Star Wars soundtrack. What is this dash dash? Oh, excellent! Did her special. So I'm chasing after them after I knock them down. Get up offense. A longer knockdown could give you significant frame advantage as the opponent gets up. Excuse me. Use this head start to time your attacks to right after the opponent stands. connecting before the active frames of any of their attacks can start. So this is what's known as like a meaty, where you knock them down, you're right next to them, you start swinging this big active move over top of them. Your hitbox has started and is active over top of them, and as soon as they rise off the ground at the earliest possible moment where they're vulnerable, you've already got an active hitbox over them. They have no option but to block, and you recover earlier, and they're put in more blocks than an ordinary because they're stuck in the hitbox of your attack so late, not at the beginning of your active frames, but at the end of your active frames, and you're already recovering from the full animation of your attack. That's why meaty moves can sometimes give bigger block advantage for you. For a sweep, and boom. Right as they get up. Your opponent is likely to block if you attack as they get up. Use attacks that are safe on block to avoid a punish from a defending opponent. And then it's back to 1. Task complete. Use attacks that have frame advantage on block as the opponent gets up to stay on offense. If the opponent blocks, you'll deal some block damage and have the opportunity to act first if they recover. Is that going to work? Counter! Damn! Damn, I knocked them down, and then I did back 3-4, and that was so advantaged. When they tried to check me with a down 1, I could even interrupt their down 1. Because I was plus. Interesting. I think I likely may. A knockdown is a great chance to force the opponent to deal with an overhead low mix-up, especially if you can time your attacks to right after they get up. Oh yeah, and then she's got forward 4-4, and that's safe. Low spin is an overhead attack that's safe on block but has long startup frames. A long knockdown gives you an opportunity to perform a slower attack when the opponent can't interrupt you before it hits. Low spin is an overhead that's safe but has long startup. A knockdown gives you the opportunity to perform a slow starting attack when the opportunity, because they can't interrupt you because they're knocked down, recovers. Damn, pretty cool. So yeah, yes, slow starting moves that are plus on block or maybe an overhead or something are good options to use to wake up a getting up opponent. If you are dreaming, then you are asleep, and if you are asleep, I will wake you up. Try to consistently time your attacks to hit just the opponent gets up. This could scare them into playing defensively and blocking. If they block too frequently, it's a perfect opportunity to throw them. Lesson complete. Damn, with Sub-Zero. If you use a well-timed mix of overhead attacks, lows, and throws, each time opponent gets up from a knockdown, you can create a hard-to-predict guessing game where the odds are stacked in your favor. Connecting to the servers. Maybe we'll gamble some of these coins after I'm done. It can be difficult or impossible to defend against the opponent's attacks on reaction as you get up from a knockdown. You'll usually need to guess the best course of action to defend yourself. So now I'm gonna get knocked down. He's gonna wake me up. The opponent has a strong advantage when you're getting up because they can start their attacks first. They will consistently interrupt you during startup frames of your attack if they time theirs correctly. They have the advantage when you're getting up because they can usually attack first and then they'll interrupt you. So he countered me. I was smashing square. He countered me. A skilled opponent will be able to consistently interrupt your fastest attacks as you get up because their attacks will have a head start. I think that this game really looks cool, and it's kind of reminding me of it reminds me of all of them. It reminds me of MK9, MK10, MK11. Graphically, in terms of the fighting style, I really can't get enough of this game. Since the opponent can interrupt most of your attacks, one of the most reliable get-up options is to simply block. Very good. Task complete. Blocking on get-up has some disadvantages. You'll take a small amount of block damage. The opponent will build more super meter, and they are free to mix overhead and low attacks to make blocking more difficult. That's another thing, too. I don't really get anything when I'm blocking. You build super by attacking whether you hit or are blocked, and by using specials. So if I'm really blocking something, or if I'm getting comboed, I don't know if taking damage gives you special meter. That's... In MK9, let me see. In MK9... what's going on here? Block the overhead, that's what. Exit the demo. Exit the demo. Block the overhead. Task complete. In MK9, attacking didn't give you meter. Using special attacks built meter, having your attacks block built meter, and then taking damage built meter. So in this game, they switched it, I think, where it's like attacking, just attacking builds meter. That's kind of weird. So I want to know how I can get meter if I'm on defense, if I'm blocking or if I'm getting hit. How do I get meter? The opponent can all. That's probably why they want you to use cameos, because it's like, well, you can spend a cameo to try and interrupt their offense and start yours. Because 3 bars for breaker, I don't know that I'm seeing a lot of breaks. You might not have that much. The opponent can also throw you as you get up, consistently beating an attempt to block. If you're confident, they will throw. You can duck and then punish them with a ducking attack. Task complete punish. You have other get-up options besides blocking, but each will come with their own advantage and risks. If you have super meter to spend, you can perform a get-up reversal with armor. To push through the opponent's offense, you will still take damage from the attack. Oh, that's how it works too. So you can do a wake-up attack, which is a special right off the ground, but it doesn't get invulnerability. You have to spend meter to put armor on it if you want to use invulnerability. So she's got a reverse. So that's her reversal. Cool. A super forward advancing. I think I like Lee Mei. She's got some stuff that I like. She's got good moves. She's got fast movement, safe moves, and then she's got a reversal. I like that. That's what a real reversal is. A reversal is an invincible move that turns the tide of battle. Most armored attacks are unsafe on block, making them extremely risky. Get-up options against skilled opponents. Unlike Jax in MK9, he's got a safe armored launcher. Very good. I mean, NetherRealm, they really tightened it up. They realized, oh, we like anti-airs to be this way. We want armor to be done this way. Wakeups that way. I mean, they've learned and developed over the course of the last 3 Mortal Kombats to get this one. And 4 does happen to be my lucky number, so MK1. An armored get-up reversal can have an effect on your opponent's behavior even when you don't use it. They can't attack recklessly as you get up because of some risk of getting hit when you have super meter to spend. So they'll be afraid of you using an armor attack on wake up. Your opponent may block as you get up because they anticipate you'll perform the armored wake up, and then this will give you an opportunity to surprise them with the throw. I mean, you don't have to throw, you can just start your own pressure, but that is true. If they're afraid of a wake up armor move or invincible move, and they give up their opportunity to pressure you, you could just get up and it's the neutral game again, baby. But that's like, I would never do that. Like, I'm going to try and bait the... I don't know, man. If you have to sort of sense that in your body. You have to have this, like, intuitive instinct. Like, I have that instinct of, like, I'm going to reversal right now. Fuck it. But then you don't want to just say, oh, should I reversal right now? Let me think about reversaling. Let me try to reversal. Like, if you're thinking about it too much, I think that's wrong. What's the opponent going to do? Who cares? I'm going to read his mind. I know what he's going to do. I'm going to bait him. If you notice things like, hey, he always wakes up crouch blocking. Let's do an overhead. Like, oh, I'm going to, like, he wakes up blocking. I'm going to do crouch jab, and then I'm going to throw him. Or it's just like, he's going to pressure me. I'm going to reversal him off the ground. You need to be, like, acting in your body because these strategies have been tested and studied and honed in your mind. You can perform a Getup Kameo summon as you recover from a knockdown if you have Kameo gauge. Some Getup Kameo summons have a brief window of invulnerability as the attack starts. Really? Making them an effective option if the opponent strikes just as you get up. I've noticed some people getting hit and then it's like you see that purple flash around them or the Kameo. I don't know if that's just tagging them with damage or if that's interrupting the Kameo to stop it. I don't know. So Kameos sometimes have invincibility. Whoa, really? If you don't have super meter or Kameo gauge to spend, your opponent can attack more aggressively. Save your resources for armored or invulnerable attacks to make your opponent second guess their offense. So basically, if I'm pressuring someone, I have to know if their Kameo gives them a good wake up option. Oh, that's so fucked up. A delayed Getup can throw off the opponent's timing. This does not cost resources, and it's not as risky as an armored Getup or a Kameo Getup. Yeah, and then... I thought I did it, but okay. I thought I did it. Let me just mash it. Oh, I made him whiff. And you could just tap it and it's like an automatic timing. So then, can I block as soon as I do a delayed wake up? I can't imagine there's a way to punish the delayed wake up. That doesn't seem like it'd be very, very fair. So I'll have to test if I'm still like a delayed wake up keeps you invulnerable, and then obviously if you didn't get hit by Baraka's overhead, but so a delayed wake up should keep you invulnerable and on the ground, and it gives up your ability to do a wake up attack, but you should still be able to block instantly. You can perform an armored Getup reversal or Getup Kameo summon after a delayed wake up. So you'll have less options to escape your opponent's offense if they anticipate the delay and time their attack to hit later. Let's do it again. I like double tapping delayed wake up. I think that's a little bit better. For me personally. Maybe if you plan on a delayed wake up, double tapping it might help you. Because there's no risk of accidentally swinging something else. Countering Getup attacks. An opponent with resources has access to the armored reversals. Look at the sludge in the bottom right over Li Mei's super meter, just like bubbling in that pond in the river. We're inside a temple, but it's a river in the temple, and they carved skulls into the rock walls. An opponent with resources has access to armored reversals and invulnerable Kameo summons as they get up. But there are always ways to punish them for using these tools predictably. The opponent can use Armor Getup Reversal to interrupt your well-timed offense when you attack as they get up. Task complete. See, she blew me up with that armor move. Armor attacks vary from character to character, but they are almost always unsafe on block. Block and punish the opponent when you anticipate they will try to Armor Getup Reversal to push through your offense. Punish. Task complete. Consistently punish your opponent's armored Getup reversal attacks to scare them into avoiding this powerful but risky option. Sub-Zero's Cold Shoulder has a brief window of invulnerability when it's used as a Getup Kameo summon. That is effed up. It also has frame advantage on block. Oh my lord! So you won't be able to simply block and punish. Cold Shoulder has long startup frames than the other opponent. Wait, Cold Shoulder has longer startup frames than the opponent's other Getup options. So you can delay your attack to hit between their Getup invulnerability and the attack's active frames. Really, delay your attack to hit between their Getup invulnerability and the attack's active frames. Short delay. You can hit them both, and it stops them. It stopped him. So I hit the point character, and that interrupted the Kameo attack. So this is why I'm against being afraid of some Kameo. You need to know the point character's strings and what you can poke against and challenge. Like, even though something's not -7 punishable, if it's -4, you should still challenge it. And then if you have a string coming out, and they try to make something safe or continue pressure with a Kameo summon from a block string, you start counterattacking, you interrupt them. I don't know how that works. You know, somebody does a string canceled into a Kameo that's not a true combo. Like, I'm blocking, they're attacking me. They do an attack string into a Kameo. If I then start challenging their block string, and I can slip an attack between their last string and their Kameo, but they block, is the Kameo going to hit me? Especially if it's somebody like a Sub-Zero freeze? I don't know. Then it becomes... So it's like, yeah, if I can punish their string... no kidding, their Kameo doesn't mean anything. You know? To try and, let's say I have a great string. It ends in an overhead, it's a combo starter, so it's a real good mix-up, but it's super unsafe. Can I use a Kameo to, like, cover the disadvantage of my unsafe string? And if you try and punish my unsafe string, my Kameo will basically counter your punish? That'd be so messed up. Or can I say, screw your Kameo? If I hit the opponent, the Kameo stops and goes away. But what if they're blocking and they call a Kameo? I don't know. This Kameo system's really interesting. And I love seeing this bonus character run on screen, and I like seeing them in their old costumes. Like, there's Kung Lao, there's Sub-Zero in their old costume. It's cool. Delaying your attack is also effective if the opponent performs a delayed Getup. Even if they block your follow-up, you'll still deal block damage, build super, get a chance to continue your offense. Well, that's how I would do it. I would just string over it. That's how I would do it. I would just string over it. That's how I did it in MK10. Like, you don't even need to delay your pressure. Just use a 3-hit string that'll wake them up straight into it. Especially if it's like advantage. There are disadvantages to blocking or delaying your attacks. As the opponent gets up, you'll give them the opportunity to retreat, or they can initiate a fast attack or a throw. Evasions can be effective alternates to blocking. Sub-Zero's Cold Shoulder has a great horizontal range. So delay Wake Up into a Kameo. Now, they say you can't Kameo summon if you delay Wake Up. Sub-Zero's Cold Shoulder has great horizontal range, but limited vertical range. A well-timed vertical jump can evade this Getup Kameo summon and create an opportunity for a jump and attack. And here's the other thing, too. A lot of this revolves around the horizontal Kameo attacks that require you commit to them. What about the neutral Kameo attack that you can just call out freely at any time? Is that a good wake-up option? What do I do then? Jump 3. See, I'm not gonna see, but that's so dumb. Like, I'm gonna try and guess that they're gonna delay wake up with the Kameo summon, so I'm gonna neutral jump. Then I'm gonna just fucking hit him. A well-timed vertical jump can also evade Li Mei's enhanced chain reaction when used as a Getup reversal. You can punish this armored attack on miss if they have a fast, long-range attacks. Now, let's just see it. Jeez. And then I do, oh, with the spear, okay. Huh. What a bait. Like, what a mental gymnastics bait that you have to go through in order to sort that out. Now, I'm not saying that neutral jump is not a good option. It is a good option. Neutral jump is basically as good as neutral crouch. But, you know, to say, like, they're going to try and throw me and I'll jump or something. And, I mean, throw is already 10 frames. You can just crouch that. But I'm sure that neutral jump is useful for something more practical. And she's going to, and again, she's going to do that. What was it? Back forward circle. This is already punishable. That's already punishable. I'm not going to guess a delayed time jump and then fucking spear them from across the screen. Now, they're just explaining this as an example, but when the examples are so convoluted as this, you might as well keep it simple and let the player get more advanced. They're telling you very advanced stuff to try and reduce it back down. It's called an inverted learning curve. You can also evade an opponent's throw attempt if you jump before they get up. They don't need. They're going to wake up throw. Why would they wake up throw? Why would they wake up throw? A jab is like 7 frames. Why do a 10-frame throw? Because I'm guessing they're going to wake up with attack. I'm attacking. I knocked them down. Well, they're going to throw. I'm not going to throw them. Why should they throw me? They're not trying to break my throw attempt. I haven't even pressured them yet. That's why I'm jumping. Jumping combos. And then do another up. And then, dude, what? And then what do I do? Jump 1, 2, 1. What is this? Alright. Oh, I have to do a jump and attack, too. And then it's, down back 2. This is such a convoluted example. Look at how specific this fucking example is. Look at this shit. I can't even land it. What and think about the mental gymnastics and how much pre-planning and planning ahead you have to fucking do. I'm gonna knock them down and then anticipate that they're gonna be afraid of my pressure, so I'm gonna throw them, but then they're gonna try to break the throw with the throw attempt, but then I'm gonna give up on trying to Why would they get up throw? I'm not gonna fucking block. I'm trying to bait out the reversal, so then it's a perfect opportunity to throw me. So then, why don't you just duck and then do fucking... Why don't you just duck their stupid throw? And then do any fucking string? Why not just do that? I'm gonna neutral delay, then jump, the bounce. Shut the fuck up, man. Counter get-up attacks. Remember that some get-up options can counter your attempt to punish certain attacks. Some get-up options can counter your attempt to punish. Oh my god. I'm attempting to pressure. This is the pressure tutorial. A vertical jump can evade horizontal attacks, but leave you vulnerable to vertical attacks. So it's the Yomi layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to heaven. Lee May's enhanced. Now, why would she get up with that attack? If it's a reversal, whether it's an anti-air or whether it's a invulnerable move, she's already saying he's going to pressure me. I'm going to blow him off me with this move. You should just be blocking. I think they're going to wake up. I think they're going to wake up attack, so I'll block. I think they're going to block my wake up attack, so I'm going to throw. Well, I mean, then you might as well just go back to pressure. That's called resetting the Yomi, and it's not a real phrase. Lee May's enhanced Shi-Z Lion. It's a fast get-up reversal that's effective against delayed or jumping attacks, but can be easily punished if you block. I know that! That's why just block! That's what I'm saying, just block! Easily punishable on block! Not on whiff neutral jump Yomi level 3. Enhanced Shi-Z Lion has great vertical range, but limited horizontal range. Evade this attack by moving backward just before the opponent gets up, avoiding block damage and creating a punishing opportunity. That's right. Now I have to hold... Now, get out of the view demo! I don't want to view a fucking demo! And then I do... Okay, I gotta launch. So, forward 3-2. Get out of here! While airborne. Spear. So, you walk back and forth and bait their wake-up attack. And then if they don't do wake-up attack and they just block, now you can pressure them. So it's the same. You're always trying to reduce them back to the neutral game where you're in control in the first place. I knock them down, I'm going to pressure. They might reversal. Alright, well then, I'll try and step back out of the range of their reversal, and then I'll see if they do anything. No, they just get up blocking. Alright, now I'm going to pressure. And then I'm gonna keep pressuring them, and then I'm going to try and throw them, because they accept the pressure, they accept the blocking, they don't wake up reversal, and then I'm going to throw them. That's basically it. Whether they think, oh, he's going to attack me or throw. Okay, block the attack, or break the throw, or neutral crouch and blow up the throw. Neutral crouch is probably better for beating throws offensively than neutral jumping. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think so. Because they're 10 frames. It's not like you have to jump or backdash a 5-frame throw like in Street Fighter. And then basically like, oh shit, I don't want to deal with an attack or a throw. Let me reversal. Let me invulnerable wake-up attack. And then it got, God, this guy, you know, wake up DPs, wake up Dragon Punches. Okay. So now I have to be aware when he has meter, he's willing to do it. But again, you don't need to be afraid of a reversal unless they have meter. They can only do invulnerable armor attacks with meter. So if they got no meter, pressure them. Don't try and bait a delayed forward advancing neutral jump spear punish. Come on, man. You can also step back as the opponent gets up to evade throws and other short range attacks. So his forward 3-2 is this launching string. Yeah, keep in mind, look for these 2-hit strings. These 2-hit strings seem to be real nice. Almost more, they like launch, they're safe, they're easy to special cancel. They might be more useful to you than the 3-hit strings. As both the attacker or the defender. Like, so a 2-hit string might be more useful for just poking and starting stuff, and the longer strings, like 3 or 4 hits, might be better for within a combo. If that's how you want to think about it. As both the attacker or the defender, there's usually an answer to every option your opponent can choose during a get-up encounter. But an attacker with frame advantage will always have the upper hand. Make use of this opportunity whenever possible. Okay. I think that's it for that one. Coins and currency. Let's bang out this pressure tutorial. Block pressure. Pressure describes the tactic of attacking an opponent in a way that limits their options and forces them to stay on defense, usually through the use of frame advantage. And then either you're trying to hit them with a high or low, a lower and overhead to start a combo, or you're trying to get them to start swinging back at you when they're either at a frame disadvantage, they have long startup, they don't have a good frame opportunity or frame window of opportunity to fully start and activate one of their own attacks, and you're trying to like get them to hit a button or to move and do something, and you tag them, right? They try and poke back at you and you interrupt them, or they try and move away. and you catch a dash or a jump. One of the best ways to create pressure is with block advantage. Your opponent is able to recover first when they have block advantage. Your character is able to recover first when they have block advantage, so your next attack can have a head start. That's very true. For example, Johnny's standing 2 startup is 8, is faster than Li Mei's standing 2 startup 9. But Li Mei's slower attack can consistently interrupt his faster if it's performed immediately after Johnny's blocks Li Mei's stand 1, which gives me 2 frames of block advantage. So if I do stand 1, I'm at +2. All of a sudden, his 8 frame stand 2 becomes 10, and my 9 frame stand 2 can slip in there. He does have a big ass. What the hell, Johnny? You better lay out those cheeseburgers. You got to get Hollywood fit. Block pressure requires precise button timing, which will take some practice to master. If you're too early, the second attack won't come out. If you're too late, the opponent can hit you. And you're probably used to dialing in strings rather than just... Like, it's tough in Mortal Kombat to strike with a single attack, like a single standing 2 or 1, because usually a lot of your single moves lead into strings anyhow, and they were not designed to be a single move. They were designed to be the beginning of a string. So, like, it's easy in this game to buffer and dial in a lot of moves, flowing into 2, 3-hit strings, canceling into specials. That's very easy to dial it in, but when you're trying to just poke with like a single hit in the way you would in a Street Fighter type game, it can be tough because it feels a little bit more stiff trying to poke with single hits in a 3D game and like waiting for stuff to recover before trying to start something else. That would be like a Link. I have to press one attack, make a contact, let it retract and recover, and then try and input my next move because it's not a true combo. That's why in that one combo trial, you do, I forget what character, it's Ashra. You do like, I don't know, back 2-2 and she launches her opponent, and then you call Sonya Assist, and then you have to input this raw special. Like, you still have to recover from the string that's not cancelable, and then try and execute a raw special. So, this game does have the concept of a Link. And you see that in Johnny's corner combos, trying to juggle with just these standing punch strings, like without special canceling anything. That's why they kind of designed this game to have like multi-hit strings and special cancels that juggle, so you can just kind of bounce opponents in the air rather than having to like link a hit or link a string and wait for stuff to recover. Block pressure requires precise timing, which will take some practice to master. If you're too early, it won't come out. If you're too late, the opponent can hit you first. Perform the attack with proper timing to apply block pressure. You'll see counter message appear if you hit the opponent during startup of their attack. Counter. We both traded because I was 1 frame late. This technique becomes more effective and easier to execute when you use a frame faster after you have frame advantage. A faster attack after you have frame advantage. Follow stand 1, block advantage 2 with down 1, startup 7. When timed correctly, the second attack will connect around 5 frames after Johnny recovers from blocking the first attack. That's true. The math adds up. None of Johnny's attacks start faster than 5 frames, so any attempt he makes to attack after blocking will be consistently interrupted by your second attack. This technique is known as a frame trap. I was just going to say that. That's literally what a frame trap is. You give them a window to start something but not to activate something, and you catch them. And this could even be true for a backdash or a jump. Interrupt, counter. Frame traps are highly effective ways to force your opponent to block instead of attack. That's true. Once the opponent is afraid to attack, you can create pressure by ending your frame traps in combo strings, blocks, whatever you want to do. Or I mean throws, whatever you want to do. Task complete. Li Mei's 1-2 string has a block advantage of 2 and keeps the opponent in range of her other attacks, creating a frame trap opportunity for a combo attack string. This so totally sounds like Star Wars. This is a better Star Wars game than that Jedi Fallen Order game. Did John Williams do this soundtrack? Combine multiple frame traps in the same sequence of attacks to create extended pressure. I like Li Mei, she seems good. You can use frame traps to combine multiple combo attacks into extended sequences of block pressure. Forcing the opponent to block more attacks will deal more block damage and build more super meter for you. It's very true. Li Mei's back 3-2. Li Mei's back 3-4 Has block advantage of 7. Holy shit. Uses combo attack to start an extended pressure sequence. Let's see what that looks like. Is that a low too? He's changing to crouch block. He's blocking low. I think I like Li Mei. I said I want to play an aggressive character in this game. So let's see. 1-2. Let's see how fast I can get a 2 out after a 1-2. Watch my buttons. Watch my buttons. Because I want to flow like a 3D game sequence. They do. The animations do look better now. Look at her just like boxing. She's Why is that not working? Why is that not working? So it wasn't doing it fast enough? Weird. If you can scare your opponent into consistently blocking when you perform a frame trap, you have the opportunity to surprise the opponent with an unblockable throw. Lesson complete. Experiment with different attacks to learn a new frame trap. They are effective at controlling the pace of a match, dealing block damage, building super meter, and creating opportunities to mix up the opponent. Lesson complete. Currency, 250 coins. This one's going on long. Hit pressure. Generally, when you finish an attack that hits the opponent and leaves them standing, you won't be able to do anything but block until they've completely recovered. This means that you can create frame traps after attacks with hit advantage that don't knock down. Perform X, perform standing 3, which start up 12, immediately after standing 4, hit advantage 9. For a frame trap with a gap as small as 4 frames between the attacks. As small as 4 frames? You mean because 12 minus 9 is 4? Okay. Okay, now we're starting to realize why NetherRealm games have been the way they've been for so long. Precedent. Perform the attack with the proper timing to create a frame trap. Is it on hit? Task complete. That's the only thing. So, it's so funny. Dialing stuff on whiff and on block is so easy, but when you're trying to time something like coming out of your own block stun, some stuff is super easy to buffer. Like, I dial it in, usually when you're at an advantage. If I'm attacking and I'm just dialing stuff in, dialing in a string or a special cancel, it's so easy. But if you have to come at a block stun and time a punish perfectly, that's when it gets tougher. And then, yeah, the technical rules of timing something like, I'm going to attack them, whether on hit or on block, then I have to time the startup of my next move. And that's the thing, like, because I'm not trying to combo, I'm just trying to pressure. If I do a 2-hit string and it's blocked, or if I do a 2-hit string and it hits but it's not a combo starter, I still then need to, again, wait for my moves to finish, regardless of the stun the opponent's in. I need to wait for my attacks to finish before my input window is open to start the next string in the sequence. And that's where these little minuscule 1 or 2 frame gaps can change. So is something technically a frame trap or technically a combo because the math on the animation frames adds up? Yeah, sure. But if there's variability in your execution, if you can't just dial it in and you have to wait for the time when your move recovers, wait for the time when your input window's open, execute everything correctly, that's where you could become either too early and it's not open, the window's not open, or you're too late and you started too late and you missed that math perfect opportunity to do like a true frame trap, true perfect pressure, or a true combo. That's when you'll miss it. Or like I'm saying, an up block, true punish at a block, or a reversal, true get up off the ground, whatever. So that's why the cancels like strings and specials are way easier than the very specific frame precise pressure and punishes that they're teaching about in this section. That's why it's so advanced. If your second attack has a startup that's faster than the hit advantage of your first attack, your second attack can't connect while the opponent is still recovering. And so in this game, you can sometimes, even though the math looks like it should be a guaranteed combo, at the very least in this game, you'll get like a guaranteed connection, a guaranteed trap. Like, so if I have something that puts them at +10 and then I have a +8 move, like let's say, my opponent's standing and I have a down 4 that on hit is +10, and then I have an 8 frame stand 2. And let's say it's a mid. Because I put them at 10 frames of block stun, or 10 frames of hit stun, right? I'm at 10 frames of advantage. Forget hit and block. They're at disadvantage 10 frames. And I got an 8 frame move. Because they can't do anything, they can't backdash, they can't jump, they can't duck. Guaranteed I can make contact with that move. Now, is it going to combo? No. Because they're not in a juggle state. They're not in this aerial juggle state. They're standing. But at least it's a guaranteed pressure where I go, hey, if I have this down 4, it's +10 on hit. That's not only a guaranteed pressure attempt, that might be a guaranteed throw attempt. And you could start to test these things in training mode. Setting the dummy to, to block and try and throw attempt if it's a guaranteed throw attempt, or to try and jump, and you'll see you'll make contact with them. And then if they try and do something, rather than just accepting the stun and blocking, if they try and do something, they might get hit. Li Mei can force the opponent to block stand 1, start up 7. If she performs it immediately after hitting with down 3, hit advantage 9. You see what I'm saying? This is literally the scenario I'm describing. That should be guaranteed. Now, because it's a high, they might, I don't know though, I don't think that they would even be able to duck. If you hit the opponent's, that would be a good thing to test. If I hit the opponent standing with a down 3, and I'm at +9, is that follow-up stand 1 guaranteed to make contact? It will jail the opponent. Jailing means they can't transition between stances. They could still technically duck. Like a fuzzy guard would be, technically I'm in a standing position, but I could still duck a low because I'm allowed to input that command, but my character model is standing. And jailing is, you're stuck standing or crouching, even though you might be able to block the correct way, you're stuck in that stance. After you recover. So you really got to do it soon. I don't know, yeah, you can put that in real early. So you want to look for stuff where you can dial it in real early. And just make sure, like, honestly, I like stuff where I can buffer it while my animation is recovering, and the game knows, oh, that's what you want me to do? We'll do it at the next earliest possible moment. I don't want to have to link stuff and wait for my own animation to end and time stuff. I just want to dial it in. I think I like Li Mei. This technique is known as jailing because you're completely safe to attack while the opponent can only block. Most characters can hit with down 1 or down 3 to jail the opponent and start applying pressure. If you've jailed your opponent and attacked them with a high attack before they fully recover, they won't be able to evade the attack by ducking. That's what I was going to say. Down 1. So that even stands him up. Why is the string not coming out? 1, 2, 4. So what is it? Back 3. That was weird. He was like blocking at first and then not getting hit. Combo strings like 1, 2, hit advantage 14 are useful for creating frame traps or jailing the opponent. Task complete. Task complete. Now, why this works is because they're stuck in recovery. So they're stuck for a set amount of time. If he's stuck in 14 frames of recovery, you have 14 frames to activate whatever you want to do. If you have a throw, that could be a guaranteed throw attempt if you're in range. If you have a pressure string, it could be guaranteed. Because people will say it's good pressure and not be able to explain it. The fact that 1, 2 puts him at 14 frames of recovery, and he's standing and he's staggered, he's not going to be able to duck stand 4. So that could be a good way to use high attacks without worrying that the opponent's just going to duck them. If you can make contact on hit with the string that leaves them at good hit advantage, and it's like a pressure string, it's not a combo starting string. Maybe it's safe on block and it gives good advantage on hit. Then you could use that to start some of your combo starting strings, like maybe a move that's a fast high but ends in a launcher or something. After jailing your opponent with a hit, follow up with attacks that have high block advantage to create additional frame traps. This kind of sustained pressure is great for dealing block damage and keeping your opponent on defense. Like, give me an example. Lesson complete. Lesson complete. It seemed to be like a dissertation on Li Mei, pretty much. Not even just block pressure. Kameo pressure. Some Kameo ambush attacks are powerful pressure tools because they allow both your characters to attack independently. Li Mei's Shi Zi Lion can be easily punished on block, but a well-timed Kameo ambush, like Kano Ball, can hit during Li Mei's recovery, interrupting an opponent that attempts to punish. Hold L2. So I can still walk even with Kano. Wow, I don't have to, so that's an ambush Kameo. What am I trying to do? Wait a minute, hold L2. Oh! What do I do? Hold L2. And then I make it safe? Whoa. As he tries to punish me. He can still punish me if I don't time it correctly. Huh. So let's see what happens if he, when do I want to release it? So I'm doing it as a true block string, not as a cover. It's using that to cover myself. So then that's exactly what I was saying, like, and I think Cyrex has that blow-up special that allows you to do that too. You can use Kameo, look, use a Kameo ambush to protect your lead character from a punish. That's so fucked up. But if he hits me, the Kameo stops. So I don't think that they can hit the Kameo. They have to hit the point character. If you hit the point character, the Kameo stops and goes away. And so if I do something, if I do a string and then call the Kameo and then start blocking, and he tries to strike against my block, he'll get hit by the Kameo. That's the thing. If I call a Kameo and block, will the Kameo go away if he attacks me on block? Or does he have to attack and hit me on hit? Does he have to hit me to make the Kameo go away and interrupt it? Because otherwise, he can't try and punish something that's punishable, because he'll eat the Kameo. The Kameo system is going to really add some craziness to it with a K. You can create opportunities to apply pressure with your lead character after the opponent blocks a Kameo ambush. Li Mei's forward for 4 is -6 on block, so it's safe, it's not an advantage. Normally give the opponent the advantage. Li Mei could apply additional pressure afterwards with the help of Kano's ambush assist. And then back 1-2, very cool. So I like that, so that assist, like, allowing you to get in and to cover yourself and to create pressure opportunities. That's pretty interesting. That's a very Marvel 2 way to use an assist, to cover your approach. Combine Kameo ambush attacks with the extended block pressure strings to keep your opponent on defense longer, dealing block damage and building super meter. So ordinarily, if your pressure would end after one string because you're too disadvantaged, you can use the ambush Kameo to create another. It's almost like a block combo rather than a real combo. It's like it allows you to continue the pressure where it may have ended naturally with your strings recovery. You hit him with the ambush Kameo, and then you basically set up a second pressure sequence. Back 3-4, back 2-1. This kind of extended pressure can help condition your opponent to block more frequently, creating opportunities to mix up with overheads, lows, and throws. Very true. Overhead, he's blocking low. Damn, maybe Kano's somebody to check out. A little bit awkward for my taste. Like, I need stuff to feel natural and easy and flowing. Some people, they like kind of shutting out the opponent and learning the timing for their stuff and doing really tricky stuff and really technical stuff. I'm not a very technical fighter. I'll learn an execution for a necessary combo, but that's not what it doesn't excite me to have a character with difficult combos. It's like I would prefer that they're simple and I can just apply the strategy, the strategic decisions. Hold this, and then throw him. Nice, I like that too. Complete. Fourth row usually involves your Kameo partner, but your lead character will perform a shove instead if your Kameo is still performing an action. You can use the threat of a Kameo ambush attack to scare the opponent into blocking, then unleash the ambush as your lead character shoves them. So, and then does that combo? So, yeah, then there's that concept where if your Kameo's on the screen and you try and do a throw that involves a Kameo, you'll shove them instead. And so I was like, is that because you will then throw them forward into the... You'll grab them and throw them forward into the Kameo attack? That's something I really got to go into training mode and look at Kameos and throws and see the nuances of all this stuff. The Kameo gauge will limit how frequently you can perform a Kameo ambush. Use it too frequently will force your lead character to fight alone, giving the opponent the upper hand for a short time, because you got to recover. Very true, very true. Kameo ambush pressure. Damn, another long one. Pressure defense. You'll be forced to defend against pressure when competing with a skilled opponent. It's important to remember that your opponent has more control of the situation if they have frame advantage. When your opponent hits you with the attack that has enough frame advantage to jail you, your only option is to block until you fully recover. Task complete. If you block an attack with this block advantage, it's very risky to attack afterwards because the opponent can easily put you in a frame trap and interrupt you with fast attacks. Your safest option is usually to block. Block all attacks. Blocking has its risk. Your opponent will inflict block damage if you build super, and you'll be vulnerable to throws, overheads, and lows. Watch for opportunities to escape when your opponent is applying block pressure. When you see them perform an attack that has block disadvantage, you have a chance to start your own offense, block pressure with one of your own attacks. Yeah, that's why it's so important to look at the frame data, because people will throw stuff out and it's like it's either punishable, it's disadvantaged, or it has long startup and you could interrupt, and people are just so afraid they just hold block. That's the low. After you recover. In most cases, you can only punish a block down one with your own well-timed down one. If it hits successfully, you'll have enough frame advantage to start applying pressure of your own. Wait a minute. What am I blocking here? She's like too far away. It's like she's too far away. Look, it's like she's too far away, dude. And then I'm too far away. Fucking asshole. I did it already. I did the block 4 hits then. It doesn't work. 2, 3, 4. It doesn't even count. Let's watch the demo. I have to punish her. Oh, gotta punish her. I fucking did it! Alright, you gotta punish it. Be sure to capitalize on the opportunity to punish with a combo. I thought they just wanted me to check her back. I had to punish her. Be sure to capitalize on your opportunity to punish with a combo with a K. If your opponent risks using an attack that's unsafe on block. Consistently punishing unsafe attacks can scare them into avoiding some of those powerful tools. Well, why do you sneak attack me? immediately after you recover. Thanks a lot. 3, 4, 5, 6. That wasn't a punish. With a stand 1? Come on, you stupid bitch. I can't believe that's not working. I think these are just goofy examples. I think these are just bad examples. Like, there's probably something... That's minus 16, and it's that hard to punish with shitty Sub-Zero stand 1. I bet you there's a better option, and that's why. There are some opportunities... But see, they don't want to have to retool the trading mode later, so they're like, just use stand 1 and down 1. It should stay consistent while we service this live game. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. There are some opportunities to attack when your opponent has frame advantage, though this can be risky unless the opponent is behaving predictably. Watch to see if your opponent uses high attacks to create a frame trap. You can duck under their high attack if you're not blocking and interrupt them with a ducking attack. Show me the example. Block 2 hits. And then interrupt. That's true, that's true. So you have something, yeah, like that idea of letting off block and slipping under highs to interrupt them. That's a good idea. An experienced opponent will attempt to condition you to block by applying aggressive pressure, leaving you vulnerable throws. You won't be able to react to a throw before it hits, so you'll need to anticipate when the opponent will perform one. That's not true. You can react when it hits. Most methods to avoid a throw are risky because they leave you open. You can evade the throw by ducking, then counterattack with a ducking attack. This avoids any high attacks that your opponent may perform. So... I'm still coming out of block stun. Throw counter. She grabbed my startup. Maybe I have to punish. Maybe I have to punish her throw. Yeah. You gotta make her throw whiff and then try and punish her. And that's the other thing too. This is not training mode, this is tutorial mode. So I don't know. They could prevent me from moving, they could prevent me from using other attacks, they could prevent me from timing something. So this is not training mode, this is tutorial mode. So they didn't want me to try and interrupt the throw, they wanted me to make the throw whiff. Because I was like, I'm doing, that's what I'm saying, I'm doing like block high, block low, and then press triangle. And I'm like, where's my fucking uppercut? But they don't want me to interrupt her throw, they want me to let it whiff and then punish it. Jumping to avoid throws riskier than ducking, sense more of a commitment. So then why did you give me that long-ass example of how I'm going to make a read on a get-up and I'm going to neutral jump and then spear punish? Why'd you do that? Yeah, but you don't want to jump. That's risky. You should just duck. Well, no shit. Jumping to avoid a throw can be riskier than ducking. Sense is more of a commitment, but you'll be able to punish a missed throw with a jump and combo. You can punish a fucking duck throw with a jump and combo. Alright, how do I got to do this now? Block 2 hits, then jump. Task complete. This tutorial's going on a long time. Your opponent won't always perform a frame trap when they have block advantage. Once they've conditioned you to block, they may so never mind frame trap. They might not continue to attack with pressure. They may choose a slower attack to create an overhead low mix-up. If you can predict your opponent will perform a slow attack when you're at a frame disadvantage, you have a chance to interrupt them with one of your fast attacks. If you can predict that they will perform a slow attack when you're at disadvantage. So even though it's not guaranteed, they still want to try for a slow move. So what? Okay, block 2. And then interrupt, task complete. You can spend 2 bars super meter to jump cancel down 2. Oh boy, if you interrupt during their attack, this technique to counter the opponent that tries to pressure with high throws or slow startup. That's so ridiculous. So... And then you have to hit up plus block. I don't know if I'm ever remember to do that. Look, and it's just like weird. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. And also this is tutorial mode, so Lord knows if like I'm frozen in place and I can't move and the input window is not open and I'm only allowed to do this one attack. This is like too weird. Jump cancel a down 2 with an up forward block command. I'll never remember that. And spend 2 bars? Fuck that. rather get hit and just break her. A jump cancel from down 2 is expensive. You telling me. Especially compared to just like calling an ambush Kameo and then uppercutting them anyway. But you only spend your super meter if you successfully hit the opponent. You won't have to waste resources on miss or block. Yeah, but you might accidentally jump. You might accidentally jump. Use Upblock if you anticipate the opponent will perform an overhead attack when applying pressure. It's less risky than attempting to interrupt during their startup. You recover quickly and punish if you're successful. Complete. Flawless block is difficult to perform consistently, but it's highly effective when your opponent is aggressively applying pressure. Flawless block prevents block damage, but it also stops your opponent rapidly from building super meter as you block. You have to hit it as soon as they, like, as soon as they connect with you. I'm doing it even early. I don't want to wait so long to try. I don't want to wait so long. That was risky. The foundation of an effective defense against pressure is knowledge of strengths and weaknesses of your opponent's attacks. Learning to play an opponent's character is one of the best ways to defeat them. Even if you don't know the exact frame data of each of the opponent's attacks, it helps to learn which of their common attacks have block advantage, which has block disadvantage, which are unsafe on block, and which can jail on hit. Lesson complete. Very, very good. So what were they talking about there? Upblock as a more successful punish opportunity for overheads, and flawless block. I think flawless is really tough. As far as that jump cancel thing, down 2 into up forward block jump cancel for 2 bars, ignore that. Until you prove to me that's the most effective and efficient punish, ignore that. The other thing is up block. Yeah, I like the concept of up blocking. Not just reacting to an overhead or a jump in, but with an up block to get better, to take away the advantage of an overhead on block. I like that idea. I really am interested in this up block idea. We laughed about it at first, but Ed Boon is a secret creative genius. Flawless block, I think it's extremely difficult to do raw. Like trying to flawless block the first hit in a string. I think it might be more useful to flawless block some of the later hits or the last hit in a string. Take away some block damage, take away some meter build, and take away some advantage, and try and pressure against like the end of a string rather than trying to flawless block the middle. Or the beginning, I should say. Gaps in armor. Armored reversals are a powerful tool to escape pressure, but they come with significant cost and risk. You still take damage from any incoming attacks that hit while your armor is active. Block 2 hits, and then... So there's a gap in his string there. Using armor to power through gaps in strings. Most armor attacks are enhanced special moves that cost super meter to perform. Armored attacks are usually unsafe on block, risking significant damage when used at the wrong time. They always throw me right in there, trying to set me up for failure. When blocked, some combo attack strings will have brief gaps between the attacks, during which you recover and regain control of your character for a short time. When blocked, some attacks have gaps. Yeah, which recover. That's true. So gaps in block strings. There's a large enough gap to perform a fast attack between the first and second hit of Johnny's forward 3-4 combo attack. And that's where you use armor. So, like, yeah, if this guy... So there's a gap in between that string. That's almost really weird. It's almost like... So maybe if I have like a high overhead, a punch overhead twirl kick, maybe you don't have to, and that's not a true, and it's advantaged on block. Maybe you can see if you can try and block the jab and then interrupt the overhead so you don't have to accept the advantage. You don't have to accept the pressure from them. You know what I mean? Like, why It's already an overhead. It's already started with the fast jab. They're plus on block, and it combo, and it knocks down, let's say, right? Jab overhead, jab overhead. It's a 2-hit string, let's say. And you go, what can I do about this? And it's like, oh, well, maybe I can interrupt it. It's not a true block string, I can interrupt it. That's an interesting concept. You can perform an armed reversal during a combo attack string if there's a gap that's small enough as 1 frame between attacks. Because if I have a 7-frame jab, that might not be fast enough to interrupt the gap. But if I have an invulnerable armored move that can like use the invincibility and use the armor to start in between the string and even absorb the attack and hit him, that's the way to beat it. Block 3. Oh, it's a low. It's weird having a slide on 3 instead of 4. I keep referencing MK9, which is because it's like, that was 3 games ago. Yeah, well, to me it was like yesterday. It was the best one. Performing an armed reversal attack between gaps is risky if the opponent can predict your behavior. The opponent can choose to finish their combo attack string early to block and punish your reversal. Block 3 strings. Task complete. It's important to stay unpredictable when using armor to escape your opponent's pressure, and this is true getting off the ground as well. Save your meter for the right moments and avoid using armor in the same gaps repeatedly. Some combo attack strings include high attacks that can be evaded by ducking without blocking. If there's a gap before the attack, really? Ducking without blocking. Huh, interesting. So that's a high, that's not an overhead, because I just ducked it. Ducking under high attacks is effective if your opponent repeatedly pressures with the same combo attacks, but you'll be vulnerable to other attacks if you're not blocking. They can use a low, they can use an overhead, or they can throw you. Well, they can't throw you if you're neutral ducking, so that's pretty interesting. Because how would that be a mix-up? I'm going to do a 4-hit string, and the last is a high. And they're like, well, what if I duck? Well, since you're so conditioned to block, then I'll throw you. I'll end the string and throw you. And it's like, well, I can duck the high and duck the high throw. And I'm not blocking, I'm counter hitting. So it's like, sometimes people get these convoluted ideas in their mind of what good offense is, just because it's a button they can press, but there's no strategic purpose. It's like, that's slow to start. That's unsafe on block. I can duck that and counter it. And then they get disgruntled. And that's why I stay online. Watch your combo attack strings with overheads. You can use Upblock to quickly recover and punish if the opponent... And punish the opponent if there's a large enough gap before the overhead. Block 2 hits. And then it's what? Oh, Upblock. Yeah, punishing out of Upblock seems tricky. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm still visually seeing the Upblock animation, and I'm trying to time that. Upblock has tight timing. Upblock punish. Upblock is much less risky than an armed reversal, but it's only effective against overhead attacks that come after gaps. Lesson complete. Connecting to the servers. It's still going? Damn, a lot to know about pressure. Holy shit, extending pressure. As players become more experienced, they learn when it's safe to block or safer to attack. A player has the initiative to take the turn... Let's start over. As players become more experienced, they learn when it's safer to block or safer to attack. A player has the initiative to take their turn to apply pressure when they have a significant frame advantage. Li Mei's back 2-1 has block advantage of 7. This attack is usually safe on block, but it gives the opponent a chance to take their turn to apply pressure if it's blocked. The safest option in these situations is to respect the advantage and block. That's correct. So, back 2-1. I'm at -7, might as well block. There are ways to interfere when it's your opponent's turn to apply pressure. These options are riskier than blocking because you'll need to predict what action the opponent will take next. If your opponent attempts to attack with a high attack like square when they have frame advantage, you can use duck attack like down square to evade and interrupt their pressure. So I duck behind and interrupt them. Another thing about this game is because it's operating off 3D strings and multi-hitting strings, and also because it's operating off 3D hit levels where I can duck a high and I have to be crouch blocking for them to make contact with me. It's very different than a Street Fighter game where you're kind of moving left and right and spacing left and right and applying moves horizontally with hitboxes. In a 3D game, you're always right next to each other, and you can be right next to each other and duck moves to make them miss. It's really critical in a 3D game to learn like the startup frames and the hit advantage and the block stun and the block recovery, because that really dictates the rules of what you're allowed to do next. In Street Fighter, it's pretty clear. I'm either in range for their attacks or not because it's so horizontal. And it's like, and also in 2D games, there's a lot of pushback on block. In 3D games, there's a lot of like gravity that sucks the opponent in towards you on hit and on block. So your approach to just kind of like playing the neutral game, walking around, spacing and poking and moving back and forth, it's a lot different in a 3D game. You almost use the forward momentum of 3D string, a forward advancing move, to like move toward the opponent, get closer to them, and attack over top of them, and it's all about frame data. It kind of is a little bit less about spacing hitboxes. Duck attacks like down 1 are vulnerable if your opponent attacks with anything but a high attack. You'll be at a significant frame disadvantage if the opponent simply decides to block. He countered me. He interrupted me. If you frequently attack with... Now, why did that happen? Because I was at -7 after that back to 1 string. And then I tried to do, what, a 7-frame down 1? And so he just did a mid-range knee. Because, yeah, and that's the thing. I'm at such a disadvantage, I now have to respect that his long startup moves get shortened. If he's got a 14-frame mid, that's now at 7 frames to start because I'm at 7 frames advantage. I still can't interrupt him because he's going to counter hit me. So when you're at such a disadvantage and you don't want to get punished, you know, if you're at such a disadvantage and what you just did was not punishable, it was not so unsafe it was punishable, but it was still disadvantage, it's not really a great idea to try and... That's called a barre, poking at a disadvantage or attacking at a disadvantage. The concept of a frame trap where I'm attacking, they're blocking, I have frame advantage on block, now I'm going to use that advantage to start doing something long and difficult. For him, I attacked and I'm at a disadvantage. He's at the advantage now. He's now going to take that extra window to do something heavily advantageous, like a heavy mid-range move that's safe. And now I have to respect his offense. The turn shifts, the tide turns, and the tide shifts and it's his turn. How the turntables. If you frequently attack with back to 1, your opponent will get used to having the frame advantage apply. Will get used to having frame advantage to apply pressure after they block this combo attack. Once the opponent has been conditioned to expect back to 1, you can attack with just back 2 instead. Your opponent will probably continue to block because they expect the second attack, giving you the opportunity to apply your pressure. But now here's the thing. A lot of what's been taught in these tutorials is about conditioning your opponent to believe that you, the player, will frequently do something, and then you can surprise them. Then you can twist and turn. Or I'm gonna read what the opponent will do and counter. I'm gonna bait them into doing something and counter. That's a very heavy mind game focused style, and we're just talking about the neutral game, poking and attacking and spacing and pressuring. We're not even talking about like, yeah, how lows and overheads are used to knock down or set up combos, or when to use a throw when your opponent's been used to blocking, or how to beat a throw when you don't want to just block and throw break, you want to counter a throw. Like, the way that I would learn is more character specific, and I know the attacks and tools a character has, and I know the frame data, and I know what's allowed by the rules of the game, the code of the game, and that's what I play off. And I think, what's the most practical and efficient move Johnny's going to do right now? And that's just what I'm walking toward. I'm not really... I honestly do not try and play the opponent. I try and play the character. I try and fight the opponent's character, not the opponent. I will recognize, oh, this guy does this thing frequently. With Johnny, he keeps trying to do this long-range overhead, but I know it's unsafe. I'll punish him every time. And he'll be thinking it's a good move because people have a tough time punishing. But I know how to punish it. I'll punish it every time. You see what I'm saying? Task complete. A stupid pressure string. Getting sick of this tutorial. If you condition the opponent to expect certain behaviors, you can create opportunities when you undermine that expectation. Notice the psychology here of the developers telling me this. You can surprise the opponent with the throw once you condition them to block more frequently. This is still about, I'm going to lead them to think something and then do something else. I mean, I guess it might work one time. I would just have solid fundamentals and deep matchup strategy and character knowledge and play you at a basic level. And then throw them. How exciting. A block hit into a throw, a tick throw. A tick throw, you press one attack to make a block and then you throw them. After a block, back two is risky. Attacking after blocked, back two is risky because it has a block advantage of -6. The opponent will be able to move first if they take their turn to attack instead of continuing to block. Look, counter hit, he beat me. With that stupid knee again. Once the opponent learns that they have frame advantage to attack after back two, you can create an opportunity to counterattack by completing the back 2-1 combo when they don't expect. But why would you ever do a back two that's -6? That's dumb. You might as well do the string because, what, it's -7, I guess? You're just trying to use... I mean, back two that's -6 and it's a high, that doesn't seem like a good poke. You see what I'm saying? And if back 2-1 is -7, but it's a combo starter, I would at least take that. How many people can punish? Like, maybe that's punishable. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'd really poke with back two. I'd probably poke with like a safe low. Any attack that the opponent starts after blocking back two won't be fast enough to interrupt the second attack of this combo. But it's already a string, creating a frame trap if the opponent tries to continue their pressure. But I don't think that back 2-1 for Li Mei has a gap. So all they're doing is stopping blocking. That's really dumb. So they let off block and tried to press a button. You shouldn't do that. There's not an opportunity to interrupt there. There's enough of an opportunity. And this game doesn't have auto block, so you have to hold the block button the whole time. It's not going to automatically block a true string for you. Back 2 becomes a more dangerous pressure tool if the opponent cannot predict when you will finish the combo attack. They may not risk attacking after blocking this attack, even though they have frame advantage. So if I have a 3-hit string and it's like 1, 2, 4, and it's like high, mid, mid, it's 2 punches and then a knee. And the knee is, I don't know, the knee's -6, but that's clearly the end of my turn. It's safe, but it's the end of my turn. Instead of doing punch, punch, knee, I might just do punch, punch, and then I'll throw them because they're anticipating this knee. And it's a mid, they're not going to be able to duck the mid, they're not going to be able to duck a high also. So some of that, like looking for strings that end in mids and then ending them early and throwing, that's a good tactic. That's almost like a Tekken tactic. Using less predictable attack patterns will make it more difficult for your opponent to take their turn to apply pressure. Try to scare your opponent into playing more defensively, letting you continue your block pressure longer. Flawless block. Mixing up the opponent with 1 or 2 hits of combo attacks is just one way to keep your opponent guessing as you apply pressure. Use a wide variety of attacks to stay unpredictable and keep your pressure going as long as possible. If your opponent has slight frame advantage and tries to pressure with a fast, short-range attack like down 3, you can retreat to make their attack miss. And I tried ducking. I tried backdashing. Yeah, maybe. Backdashing, Like, backdashing in Street Fighter 6 is throw invulnerable, but in this game, it's not like backdashing is low invulnerable or anything, or even throw invulnerable, because this game doesn't use hitboxes, it uses collision on the 3D models. So, you would almost be better jumping backward than trying to backdash. And it's one command, up, back, rather than two commands, back, neutral, back. Your opponent will be more vulnerable anytime they miss. When possible, take advantage of the opponent to punish the opponent when you invade one attacks at close range. And see, this is why it's critical to understand not just what they... You're not supposed to memorize what they tell you to do. Sometimes when the opponent does down 4, you should tap back twice to backdash. And it's like, they told me when they do a down 4, I'm supposed to backdash. No, dummy. You need to understand why they're saying what they're saying and what's really going on. He's trying to poke low. Maybe you could get out of range of that low by backdashing, which is hopefully faster than a back walk, and hopefully gives you more advantage to counterattack them than just crouch blocking the low. Maybe if you crouch block this low, they're at +4. But if you backdash out of its range, you can whiff punish it. Like, you need to elaborate and explain why this is an appropriate answer to a situation, and explain the strategic purpose of what they're telling you to do against what the opponent believes they're trying to do. See, like, look at this. We're going to do this and then backdash. Oh my god. As opposed to, get out of the fucking demo! As opposed to just walking back, and it's like, or just blocking, you know what I mean? Or just blocking. God. You know? Or jumping, you know? Like, look at that. They want me to low poke and then backdash to whiff punish his counter low poke and then unsafe reversal this dumbass. Like, okay. And then that's how you have to do it. Play that again. That's how you have to do it. A quick retreat after a block can create a punish opportunity, but you'll need to learn the correct spacing and timing. And it's stupid and convoluted and dumb. That's a dumb example. It's a terrible example. Oh, I'm going to think that I'm going to forward dash, and then I'm going to do a down 4, and then he's going to do a down 4, counter poke, then I'm going to backdash counter poke, and then I'm going to down back 3, and then I'm going to up reverse the down poke, then I'm going to counter poke, punch, 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 punch. This is so convoluted. The mental gymnastics that these developers are going through in their mind, step by step, to lead everybody to follow their train of thought. I mean, you really see the psychology. A quick retreat after a block can create a punish opportunity, but you'll need to learn the correct spacing and timing. Use the recording and playback tools in practice mode to find the best spacing to evade punish your opponent's favorite attacks. Let me explain something. Fighting games are not about memorizing sequences and slapping the buttons and repeating the sequences, crossing your fingers and praying that they work and believing that they should work, and being confused when they don't work and complaining about why they're not working. It's about understanding the fundamental rules coded into the game, how the attacks are coded to work on start, on hit, on block, and then thinking strategically. I'm really annoyed by Johnny's down 4. It's so fast, I can't get out of the way, I can't punish it. It's plus on block, what the fuck do I do? You could go, I know I'm in range, I'll stay out of range, I'll walk into range and then I'll dash out. I'll look for it, I'll block low, maybe then I'll go neutral block if he thinks he can throw me. I'll backdash out then after I'm blocking low. Maybe I'll use a forward advancing move like a mid or something. I'll use a forward advancing high, maybe I'll go over his low. Maybe I'll jump in on him, you know. But this idea of sometimes you can neutral jump to bait the reversal. I mean, if you know your opponent loves to reversal, this character has a great wake-up armor attack. You know if you neutral jump and they do the wake-up armor, it's a guaranteed punish. You can default to neutral jump to try and bait it out. If they don't wake up with that move, you can come down with a neutral jump kick or something. Like, you need to set up guaranteed strategies for yourself. If you're looking at Johnny and you're like, how can I deal with this down 4? I know, I'll walk into range to bait down 4. Then I'll backdash, and then I'll do an incredibly unsafe special upper kick that's like so punishable on block and on whiff, and he's like, damn, I was just trying to down 4. I didn't know you were gonna try and like fireworks Chinese New Year dragon kick me. Oh well, minus 16 on block, minus 18 on whiff. You know, punish counter combo, drive rush, level 3. Is this gonna kill? You love to see it. Give me a fucking break. Get me out of this tutorial. You could try to give up some ground to make your opponent miss, but you'll risk being hit if the opponent uses an attack with longer range. You see? Oh, and then what do you know? You're at risk because he's like, oh, I bet he's trying to bait my down 4 by backdashing. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shadow kick. Oh my god. And it's just all about reading the opponent's mind and baiting them into doing what you want, behave the way I want, that would be good for me, and trying to mislead them, when in reality, you can just read the frame data and practice the combos and learn your normals and fight the character matchup. This has been a pressure tutorial for Mortal Kombat 1. Alright. Alright. We have one more. We have one more. It's 1. How long do you think this is? Alright, I'm ready. Let's bang it out. Last and final tutorial, Mortal Kombat 1 positioning. Let's get into it. Intro to neutral. While I'm young. Wow, that looks cool. Neutral describes scenarios where neither player has frame advantage. Both players are free to attack, block, or move. Your goals in neutral are to land successful attacks, avoid your opponent's attacks, and create situations where you have a positional advantage or frame advantage. Knowing the range of your attacks is vital. In neutral, when the opponent is in a neutral space that you can hit. You know, I gotta be honest, I'm fucking zoning. I'm zoning. I'm zoning. I'm zoning. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I'm zoning out. I'm zoning out. My brain has been burnt. I tried, but I can't. My brain has been burnt. But this game is still really cool so far. Maybe I'll just bang that out one last time. And we'll just save the neutral tutorial. I think that's fun. I really wanted to. I could tell. I don't have it in me to look for 40 minutes at their explanations. But I'm going to. I'm going to. This game's really good so far. My brain has been burnt learning about frame data, combos, and pressure. But it's been very interesting, and I like it a lot. I'll probably start the story mode tomorrow. And then I probably won't be able to finish the story mode in one sitting either. So maybe we'll come back, start story, clear story, and then finish this positioning tutorial. And then maybe I can go, having played the story mode, I can go into training mode and look at some fun characters to try out. Li Mei's on my radar, same with Scorpion. And we'll go from there. The game's a success so far. I really like it. Mortal Kombat 1 tutorial.